What's good, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Unscripted Logic, episode 35. We have DME Detroit in the building. Shout out to DME Detroit, yo. So we're just going to get right into it. One time for the one time. You know what it is.
Talking about technical battles as though they just happen. It's getting heated cause they both have passion. Pablo Picasso and social assassin. Friends dropping gems cause they know about rapping. Hop on the panel and get to why you're wrong. Debated on the channel, so on and so on. Chop it up and discuss different topics. Come in and watch it, Unscripted Logic. Come in and watch it, Unscripted Logic. Unscripted Logic. Every Monday from 6 to 9, talk battles and pick apart shitty lines. And if you're not on my side, I can change your mind if you give me time. But while you're here, you should hit the like, cause we keep it raw every Monday night. Nah, bro. No, I'm fucking telling you. Oh my god. You don't know a goddamn thing. Are you serious? You're out of your mind. Exactly. I can't fucking believe this. Oh, please. Get the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's ridiculous. Bunch of chunks and no goddamn thing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Really? Yeah, okay, bro.
Really? Yeah, okay, bro. We have DME Detroit coming up in just a minute. And once we have him coming up, I got a DME Detroit intro queued up to play. So until then, DME said he's pulling up in a minute. So DME, actually, let me just message him real quick. Let him know that I got his message. All right. DME is always a man of his word, bro. Always has been a man of his word. Jack, salute. Salute, brother. Salute. Salute. I'm wearing my Curb Your Enthusiasm shirt today because I know DME Detroit is a huge Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, as am I, as is Pablo. I've watched each season of that show more times than I care to admit. Really. If I told y'all how many times I really watched that show, it's sad. It's sad. But it's fucking funny. But what I do is I haven't done it in a while, but I used to get up, and I'd get up super early for work and I would watch a couple episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, get myself in a good mood before work. You know what I'm saying? So we just waiting on, we got the guest of honor in the house. So real quick before we bring up the guest,
R.I.P. Nay Nay, the BRC's most beloved dog. DME Detroit.
Show me how real y'all are. Y'all not!
Show me how real y'all are. Y'all not. DME Detroit. He's a rock and roll listener.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, next heavyweight champion of the world. I'll be the next heavyweight champion. Call me crazy, but no one can fade me. I'm the product of the projects, lost and crazy. Throw your hands up, Mr. Bruno. Ride. Big Mike Tyson about to brutalize that ass tonight. No hesitation for the whole nation. I'll beat that ass so bad I'll probably violate probation. Through demonstration as I strategize information. Intent to kill, so it's real like I'm catching cases. Let the world know I plan to die. If I don't leave with what I came for and be denied. Now, my first round for the times that I spent in the cell. The second round for the media. The 5 shots after the third round. I took it down and I felt plus I
Y'all going the hard shit.
DME, pull up.
None of that shit matters.
I gotta talk to these smack that man. Show me how real y'all are. I'm not.
50 enemies block my death. All 50 seeing visions of me shot in the chest. Couldn't rest, no, nigga, I was stressed. Had me creeping round corners, homies sleeping in my vest. Shit, I'm like a hostage on the trouble block. Call the cops, a thug nigga screaming west side. West side, corners in my Chevy Suburban. Think it got me driving up on the curb, hand on the steering wheel. Swerving, bless me, Father, I'm a sinner. I'm living in hell, just let me live on these streets. This ain't no peace for me in jail. Getting worldwide exposure. What a bunch of niggas that don't give a fuck. God, it's my soldiers. I'm just eating on the warpath, not your average killer. West side outlaw, bad boy killer. Complete my mission, my competition, no longer people. I murdered all the bust.
Salute. We about to bring DME up. MME, I am actually a bigger social assassin than Larry David, actually. I'm higher ranked in the Social Assassination Association of America. Let's go. The legend himself, DME Detroit.
Yo, what up, though? What's up, guys?
What's up? Salute. We in the building with DME.
What up, Pablo? What up, Social?
Chilling, man. Had to cam up for this one.
Okay. Oh, Larry David chest. What's up? Oh,
I had to wear it for you, bro, because I know you're a fan. I had to wear it.
Damn,
you know
my mic always. I just got this new mic and it keeps going all the way to max for some reason. I don't know what the hell that's about. Got it. Does it sound all right?
It sounds perfect. Actually, I think when it goes max for you, it actually cuts out for the audience.
Well, I have a limiter on it, but it blows my ear out. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Nah, it's good for us though. It's good for us.
I think we're good. Okay, there we go. So what's going on, guys? Well, you see, I don't know. Can you see Larry David on the wall? Did you
I can.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Of course, of course, bro. We're definitely gonna talk about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. So,
my bad. I got hijacked. Hold on, let me show you real quick. I got hijacked. My spot in the show, apparently.
Oh,
oh, my bad. Yo. Unscripted Logic, episode 35. Pablo Picasso, social assassin, and the cat.
Ripley.
I know the cat's name. I don't know if it's male or female, but I know Ripley.
You said Ripley?
Yeah.
Ripley. Believe it or not. It's Ripley.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, rest in peace to Nene, as always. You know,
that's a fact. Yeah,
I think she likes jumping up here anyway, but I think because the dog was on the screen, she was like
Pablo's sick as usual.
Yeah, I was very ill. That's why I don't know if you noticed, I haven't been live in like at least a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I was finally getting over COVID, and then I got might be COVID. It might be. I think I had the flu for real, but I was finally starting to feel a little better.
But for real though, like I know like people probably think like, oh, Pablo is always sick because like he was sick for every like virtual battle he had, things like that. But since he's come out of the coma and since he had all those health issues, like there's many times where he's not feeling great, you know. So.
Yeah.
But it's usually pretty like few and far between. It's usually not this much, you know.
Right. It just happens to always land on like a day where you need to do something.
Like a good episode or something. Or,
Yeah, it's all
or
good.
we got a battle to do or some shit. But,
Right.
Yeah. But
it's all good though. Whatever.
But on that note, Pablo, you got anything you want to say first before we get into?
No, I mean we can go wherever with it.
All right, I just want to say real quick, for anybody that's in here for drama or anything else like that, y'all should know by now this is Unscripted Logic. We don't do that over here. Yeah. So any personal beefs between any parties, or anybody, defending any party, we're not rocking with that. We will have to time you out. We don't want to do that. Just enjoy the show, and if you don't like the guest, you don't have to be here.
Just cry later. You'll be all right.
Right.
Laugh now, cry later.
The way I see it is like, this is me and Social's house, right?
Right.
So we have a guest in our house.
Show some respect.
Right.
So, to me, anything, and we've said this from the beginning of like the first episode. Even people we like when Hazy or Jack, sometimes they'll ask a question and it's not like out of pocket. Even they're like, "Oh, did you hear about that?" And we'll go, "Yo," like we don't really want to talk about that on Unscripted just because it's more drama centered.
Right.
Yep.
Even people we like, we tell like, "Yo, just don't bring it here."
Yes.
So definitely anyone. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like this is.
We
our
tell
house.
the guests, everybody.
Don't bring drama to Unscripted. It is what it is.
They'll be all right.
No, I'm not worried at all. I'm just saying.
No, he said. He said.
No,
he said they'll be all right. Yeah, they'll be all right.
Oh, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
But so I want.
I was like, yeah.
So I wanted to.
My Ponce's guys I got to handle one thing real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Let me ask something. My mic keeps going down. Can you hear me now?
You've been good the whole time.
It hasn't changed. It's only changing on my end then. So all right, I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right,
how does my mic sound? Social.
You good?
All right.
You good? Am I good?
Yeah.
All right, word.
Wow, I'm finally getting some color back. I was like pale as a ghost for a minute.
Yo, I had remember the crazy tan at I literally looked Hispanic, like I was so tan. Remember at Massacre? That shit's gone like completely, bro. I'm back to getting I still got a little tan, but I'm back to getting. Wait till y'all see me next month. I'm gonna be white as a ghost. That's just how that's just how it is, man. Irish.
Well, it's funny. Why do you think? Kind of side, but I mean, people always ask like how I got the name Pablo Picasso, which is like, I guess there's multiple like reasons why I chose it to be my rap name. Obviously, my initials are you know PP.
Yeah,
literally my initials. So, and my name Paul. But
why you have PP on your show?
But when I did roofing, right, I was a roofer for years, and when you roof, like I worked with like mostly Hispanic dudes. Like I was like, there's like few white. Just I guess on the crew I was on, there was like a couple white dudes. But every time we like, because like sometimes you get contracted to do like way bigger houses if they're like mansions, and then like other crews will come in. And they were like all Hispanic. So every time I would meet like these other people, like everyone, because they didn't know my name or anything. So that when someone asked them and they're like, I think someone's like, "Oh, that's Paul." Someone like said, "Oh, Paulo or something." So they were
Paulo
saying it throughout. Yeah, Paulo. So throughout the day, it turned from like Paulo to Paulu to and eventually someone's like Pablo. They started calling me Pablo, and it was just like every day. And then from after that, it was some of the white dudes called me pulled pork, which I was like, that's kind of pause, yo.
Don't call me that. I'll punch you. You call me pulled pork.
I don't know, bro.
MME said DME is good, but it is going low and high.
Right.
I'm not hearing it though.
I don't hear it. It sounds fine to me. I don't know.
Yo, DME, MME said that
It is going low and high.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
He said it's good.
I'm gonna.
He said it's good, but it's going low and high.
Yeah,
it's like a roller coaster.
It's doing it on my fan. I'm gonna update this firmware, so I might lose my mic for a second. So I'm just gonna do that real quick.
You good? You good? We got time. We got all night.
I don't know why it's doing that. Running the latest. All right.
I know you want to be on. You want to be on today's episode. I know.
Yo, okay. Hopefully it's. All right.
Be all night.
I updated it. Let's see. I've never seen it. It's only done it like once in a while. Now it's doing it. See, it keeps doing it right now. It's doing it right now.
I did just hear it go low right there.
Yeah.
It's not bad though.
No, it's going up and down. I can see it. And I don't know why it's never done that before.
Oh.
You said you got a new mic.
I mean, I've had it for a little while, but it's not a new mic. It's this new.
Yeah, it's weird. Now I can notice it.
Yeah, take your time, man. We got all night, man. Or as
I got time today, cuz. You know the kid from that meme, that famous. It was like a video. It was like, yo, I told you. He's like, you was trying to ask me how gangsta I was, cuz. He's like, I didn't have time that day. He's like, today I got time, cuz. You know that kid,
yeah.
You know? He died, I guess. So
yeah,
he ain't got no more time. Yeah, he ain't got no more time.
But or as Glitch and Infamous would say,
drunk in love. We woke up in the kitchen saying, how the hell did this shit happen? Oh, baby. Drunk in love. We be all night.
Wild,
we be all night.
Oh my god.
That Glitch and Infamous video is fucking legendary. Oh shit.
I didn't even know who the fuck Glitch was, to be real.
Nah, me either. But you know what's crazy is I used to watch so when Glitch used to go on Adept's platform before he started camming up, I used to think like he always the shit he said, the shit he said, I was always like, this dude's definitely a weirdo. But his voice, I'm like, yo, he has a good radio voice. Like he could do voiceovers, or people have told that to me too. But he just has a very distinct voice. But then once you see his face, it's like that all become.
You got a voice for radio and a face for closed caption or something. What's that?
No, you got a voice for
radio.
You got a voice for TV and a face for radio.
No. What is it? It's like Ilmac told Thesaurus. Oh yeah, you got a face for radio and a voice for closed caption.
Closed caption. Yeah. So I wanted to on the Sunday stream, I wanted to watch the Thesaurus Ilmac battle and then the compliment battle back to back, and I think I'm gonna do that this Sunday. Because I just want to watch them both back to back and just see the differences. Because they were saying like Ilmac and Thesaurus have both said that Thesaurus got more personal in that battle, but Ilmac got more personal. No, Ilmac got more personal in that battle. Way more personal.
That's not what he said in that person in the compliment battle.
Though. No, I'm not talking about the compliment battle.
He said that. He did say the words.
No.
We said we weren't going to get personal, then you did, but he was like, and this whole scheme is referring to me from his point of view or something.
Right. No, I understand that, but yeah, I did
understand. I understand.
But I did, but that's not what I was referring to. I was just referring to like past like interviews and shit like that. Like and other people saying
what interview?
Shut the fuck up.
Never happened. Never happened.
Ever. Pablo, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is like people can like talk shit on the internet and like nothing can happen to them. I could really pull up to you right now.
To me?
And fuck you up. So you better watch your mouth.
You just fucking cough on you and you get sick.
I'm already sick.
Chemical warfare, son.
I'm already sick.
I'll fucking throw Ripley at you. You kidding me? I'm
I'll duck
like a
Ripley,
Bond
believe it or
villain.
not. I'll duck Ripley, believe it or not.
No. There, she's just chilling in my lap like a villain.
On a Saturday night.
Unscripted battle. Hey.
MME, hey, you never know. You never know. You never
If
know.
he keeps talking smack, I might have to body his ass.
We might already have something planned. Who knows? I don't know.
No, we definitely don't have a battle plan.
No, we definitely don't have a battle plan. We already battled each other, actually.
Yeah, we did.
And he had 2 rounds that were pre-written that he had written for fucking months, and I didn't have shit.
I know, but they weren't like round. No. You can't say it. They weren't rounds. They were verses I wrote.
Okay, but they were
Random
extremely fire verses versus somebody who had to write his shit on the way down.
I know, but I helped you with some of the parts.
You gave me one.
I didn't think we were gonna be battling each other.
Yo.
Oh, it sounds crazy to me.
You gave me 1 bar.
Yo.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what's going on, bro. I just turned my other mic on. I can't hear myself in here. Huh.
Oh yeah, MME. He definitely won. I mean, I freestyled for real. Like I freestyled so much of that.
I mean, is it really a surprise? I've never lost a battle. So.
But we weren't supposed to battle each other anyway. That was whack.
All right.
Because I knew what he had, and I was like, whoever he battles is gonna die. But mad people were coming up to me after, like, yo, that was freestyle, because most of it was.
No, I can't hear them. This is ridiculous, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Someone sabotaging the interview.
I'm gonna leave and come back, all right, and see what happens.
Yeah. All right,
yeah. Technical difficulties. No, of course I won every battle I've ever had, bro. Even the ones that were judged, you know. I don't count it as being judged if it's literally just.
There's one battle that's debatable.
Which one?
You tell me which one you think that I'm thinking of.
The Rob U battle, I guess.
Yep.
Debatable, yeah.
Yep.
Nah, I still won the battle though.
Okay, so here's the thing about that battle is Rob U's material wasn't good. And Rob U wasn't a bad battler, but
I don't say it wasn't good. He had some alright shit.
He had some alright shit, but
more like flow driven. Like, you know, he's like, yo, your album wouldn't drop if it was on top of the world trade.
Pablo choked too much to like be able to say like, oh yeah, he definitely clearly won, but his material was definitely better.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely stumbly through the first 2, and then the third, I like choked the whole round away. But I still feel like I got the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. Did you think they did that to John, or was Cassidy just being? Look, the way I look at that situation, I feel like something happened behind the scenes that Cassidy felt like, nah, like this isn't.
Well, didn't he have those accusations just come out or whatever?
I don't know, but he said, but he said he was sick and that's why he didn't do the battle. But the face off, he said like 3 weeks ago that he wasn't doing the face off. So we knew he wasn't doing the face off.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, supposedly an LGBT QR code said that their story didn't make any fucking sense. So, bro, anyone with a brain that was watching it was like, wait, what? You said this person said they DM'd Cassidy first and was like, yo, you fire when you put out new music. And it's like, oh, yeah, word, I got some coming out. And then like the second message was like nudes or something from them. And then And so it's like clear, like, okay, you're pursuing this person, and then by the end was trying to say, it's all right, I got the bag. You paid me $1,000 to hook up with him, me and my friend. We each
All
got
right,
the
there we
bag.
go.
Like, what the fuck?
All right, you can hear us.
I can finally hear you now.
right,
Can you hear me?
We can hear you good.
All right, let's
Perfect.
go. I don't know, bro. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Did you see that tranny that was talking about Cassidy or whatever? Like that whole situation.
Tranny talking about Cassidy.
Yeah, supposedly like they she said they hooked up or whatever. It's like, I don't know. Her story was like all over the fucking place. It didn't make any sense at all. But some people
You mean
say
like
that's
the
why-
old story?
Yeah, but
Oh,
I guess it was like resurfacing a lot and shit. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are saying, "Oh, that's why he was backing out of the battle." I don't know.
Nah, I doubt that. Do you guys take any credence in the fact that maybe John just paid for his likeness?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is weird though, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is like he said he was sick, and that's why he didn't do the battle. But
He wasn't sick. No, I doubt that.
yeah, because
He was.
well,
I don't buy, bro.
'cause the
Being in
thing
the
is, he
restaurant
said-
business for 14 years, this sick shit. I mean, I understand people get sick, but to be sick like that day of is crazy.
and he also said like what 2-3 weeks ago that he wasn't doing the face off. So like
He didn't
we
do no
knew
face offs or promotion. So
Yeah, we knew he said
Come on
straight
now.
up, I'm not doing the face off. So it's like, yeah, I knew shit was fishy from jump. I don't know if something happened behind the scenes or what. but-
Can we be real? Like Cassidy just like looks like he's been like sickly.
Yeah.
Compared to how he used to look, to now, like he's, I don't know.
Yeah, he lost weight. That's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely lost weight. I don't know.
I
if
mean, does
it's,
anyone really give a fuck either way? Like, is anyone like, oh, Cassidy and John? Like, is anyone?
I
Like,
wanted to see it because Cassie's funny, but and it's always like something interesting might happen, whether he's good or not. But
right. My favorite part of which battle is it on RBE? Who the fuck? I'm trying to. I think it was the Hitman Holla battle. Maybe he was like, "You could never fuck with me in your whole entire life." Like the way he said that, just in the middle, like the cadence of it was like, what? You didn't even like make sense, like cadence wise. It's like you never in your entire life could you. It's so fucking funny. Like, so in that aspect, yeah, I a Cassidy battle does always provide some entertainment, but
yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny.
I guess the face. I mean, if they're booking them anyway, it's like, I feel like more people enjoy the Cassidy face-offs at this point than the battles. So the fact that he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do it," it's like,
well, I had him beating Hitman. Did you have him beating Hitman?
Hitman. Oh yeah, he definitely beat Hitman.
Who?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Hitman.
Cassidy. Yeah.
Who beat Hitman?
Cassidy.
Oh yeah, I definitely had Cassidy beating Hitman.
Come on, where was I?
But I didn't have.
Where was I?
But I didn't. I'm sorry, but I didn't have Cassidy beating Goods. Did not. I had
Goods
Cassidy.
initially, yeah, for sure.
I had good.
I
I
mean,
had
it's not-
I had him
Arsenal
beating
smoked him.
Arsenal.
You had him beating Arsenal? No way.
No.
Not
I had
even-
no. I had Arsenal beating Cassidy.
Cassidy,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But I think the only battle that Cassidy won was probably the Hitman battle. And then obviously the disaster battle. But like if that happened on the stage the night it was
But
supposed
you
to,
think he
he
won
would have
the
got
battle,
killed.
though? Even in the garage, you think he like won the battle?
I think it was debatable. But like you got to
I
think Disaster used his whole first round in the arena, and it was his best material. So he didn't even get to use that in the actual battle. So it
The
made
whole
it
situation was wild, though.
the whole situation was wild. Like they just told Cassidy, like, bro, like all you have to do is remove 30 of the 100 people that you have on stage, and we can get this battle going. And he wouldn't even fucking do it. So it's like, yeah,
30 of the 100 is crazy.
like that's pretty much what it was.
I feel like most of the people that say Cassidy won, aside from the like, oh, the Diz impression, which is like, it was good.
It was good.
Like,
but it
name
was
me
the
another
only
bar
thing.
from the battle, and they're like, yo, my wrist like shines like the
Bumblebees, some
Cheerios
shit.
box and shit. It's just like it's like all very like outdated. Like, and Diz was like going in on him about the car crash shit, and like I think it was the second round. Like he had a whole scheme that was like insane to me, and I don't know. It's not like it was like the best disaster. I think it was more just how comfortable Cassidy looked.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Compared to the stage and shit too, and like I get it, but when people say it was like this tremendous body, I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, and the goods battle was like, I didn't even like either of them. Maybe they like each had like 14 bars in their first round, and then after that, the battle's like not even watchable for real.
I liked
that.
I liked the way Goods was talking in that battle. I liked the way Goods was talking in that.
And no, I guess to be.
I wasn't either for so long, and then I want to say it was the Aver battle that made me a fan, and then the Tay-Rock battle.
Oh, you mean the Bambi?
Yeah, that battle is what made me a fan of Good. But no, but but at the time,
Oda after I let the Camry,
but don't even act like at the time that battle wasn't a classic.
No, it was a good battle. But, I don't know. I liked Goods versus Geechee, which ironically is like the one battle they never. That was the one they had.
But that was way after. I'm talking about the battle that
Transformers lot or whatever.
I was just talking about the battle that made me a fan of Goods.
Goods versus Gems.
Oh man. But no, I just like the way I like the shit Goods talks about. I like the way he flows and he talks that responsibility grown man shit. Like I just like that type of talk.
Yeah. I took out a loan and bought a brick.
We haven't seen Goods in a minute, have we? That's
nah.
Goods versus what was it on RBE? That battle I just quoted.
RBE was on?
Yeah, it was who the fuck did he battle? Goods versus Calico? Was that the one? Yeah, Goods and Cal.
I barely remember that, man.
And Cal's whole angle was that Goods' dad isn't white or whatever. I mean, Goods' dad
I remember
is
that.
White or whatever. And he's like,
that was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Right. Yep. Yeah, maybe now it's probably like 2 years ago. But, I don't know, man. I'm just like not like he does like all right here and there, but then he always throws in something that just like throws me off. He's like,
I haven't watched battle rap. I haven't really watched any battle rap lately. I haven't watched none of these new events.
Me either. I
didn't watch King versus Queens really, like a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it to be.
Or Summer Madness, whatever.
The only event that I've watched recently was Massacre, and it's only because I was there.
Oh, Massacre!
Literally the only reason Pablo and I bought tickets and went to the event was so we could do an unscripted episode about it. Like it was that and then after we went, so DME, you've been to a Massacre event.
Yeah, 2 maybe, I think.
2, you went to 2. You were at the one with Disaster.
No, I went to a Blackout. It was Disaster and Serious Jones.
Okay, so that one was in Toronto, you went to Diz versus Hollow.
No, I wasn't at that one. I was at that was a surprise battle,
Nems versus Head Ice, right?
Nems and Head Ice. I think that's the only one actually I went to.
Okay,
so 4, right?
So that was Massacre 4, where they mixed Blackout with Massacre and called it Black Mass.
Is that what they did? That one?
Yeah,
I don't even remember that. Okay.
So now that was probably the weakest of the Massacre events. But when we went to Massacre 6, when we left the first night, and I didn't even say anything to Pablo, and I brought it up on the show on Monday, but I was like thinking like, bro, that I've been to all 5 other Massacres. This didn't feel like a King of the Dot event. Like
it was like a URL almost.
Yeah,
it was weird. Yeah, it felt weird. Like it didn't feel like organic.
It wasn't even like sometimes you get like KOTD versus URL. You know what I mean? Like where they intermingle, but it didn't even feel like that either. Because
didn't it have some kind of like cross promotion with TOS or something?
It was it was like Takeover Battle League.
Or whatever.
Who is this Takeover
I don't even know what
Battle
that is.
League?
Yeah, I mean,
they're out of somewhere in New England, I think Rhode Island, but they've got to be associated with URL because they were the ones that were able to get Tay Rock over there and twerk,
Right.
and
But
actually
aside
get
from, like,
twerk to
Big
show the fuck
K,
up.
Right.
Big K, Tay Rock, and then like past New Jersey twerk, there was no other, like, I guess Sharon 40 bars, but the rest of it was like Geechee and Marv, and then like T-Rex Chilla. Like I don't know, like.
Yeah,
It seems like they just like threw shit at the wall. So basically the point is like I hadn't watched battle rap in a minute and like actually wanted to watch or cared. Even that event, even though we bought tickets and went, even like half of the card, we were kind of like meh, like didn't give a fuck about, to be real. So, and then after, as soon as we left, I was like, all right, so I don't think I need to watch any new battles. Like
No, and I didn't
need a card that I like want to watch.
And I didn't know
Right.
that what Haji just said, that
Chilla's
takeover is
League,
Chilla's League. I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
Right. I know he had the Shark Tank back in the day, but I guess it's just Takeover Battle League now. I don't know.
Okay. Hey, I had no idea. Yeah, battle rap's an interesting state right now as far as mainstream. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't even really want to like get too much into battle rap, but it just came up like
Yeah,
while
I
you were
know.
fixing your mic and shit. So I was like, whatever. But yeah, man. That being said, there's a huge event going down in Detroit, right?
Oh, Calico's shit, right?
Yeah, that's a crazy card.
Who? It's
Mook.
bro. I don't even know Mook and who?
Mook and Arsenal.
That's right. That's right. They
And
got
then,
a long history, like about 11 years or so. You can go
Yeah.
back. 'Cause I was researching stuff to talk about on. I haven't done it yet, but you type in Mook and Arsenal, and there's footage from 11, 12 years ago of them arguing.
It's just like Math and Mook, like it just goes back years, and because Arsenal felt like back in the day, Arsenal felt like he was on Mook's level and could get the Mook battle, and Mook looked at him like you need to do a lot more work before you get to me, you know what I mean? So it was like kind of that type shit, like you're not good enough to battle me yet.
Yeah.
And then it just never happened. I feel like it's like some battles when it takes too long to happen, it turns out to be shit, but I kind of feel like this one's gonna live up to the hype.
And then Cal's on there, right? He's not even the headliner.
Yeah, Cal's
He's
battling Swamp.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Clean, if Clean shows up, him versus Rex, that should be a great battle.
Is Twerk
Yeah,
on the
yo.
card?
I feel like weren't they supposed to battle before Clean and T-Rex?
That sounds like a battle.
a couple times. A couple times.
Right. But I gotta be real. I like Ars and Mook, like, like,
You don't like that?
But think
the
about
history's
it,
there.
though.
I
The
get,
history's there.
I guess.
But think about this, right? So if you look at that card, you look at Kings versus Queens, you look at Massacre, and then even this other event that happened last weekend or whatever, I forget what league it was on. Like, if you look at the people on the card, it's all the same people: T-Rex, Geechee, Tay Rock.
Well, that's
all
why I
these same
uninterested in battle
Big
rap.
K,
Like,
Big
no
K,
matter
like,
the league, no matter what car, no matter
it's
what,
always this constant
same
rotation
name.
of
you
the
see
same.
battles that you go, did that happen already? Like, even if it hasn't, it just like felt like it has happened before. You know what I mean?
And Rum Nitty versus Geechee's happening again. It's like that happened already.
Again?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Where?
swear I saw. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
I didn't see that. But
I swore I saw something last night that
Yeah,
said
I don't
Rum
know.
versus Geechee. Maybe it's a compliment battle.
well, Geechee
but-
Hitman's happening.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That should
How
be
do you
cool.
feel about that? Yeah, you think that
It should be
So-
cool. The only thing about that battle is their face off and promo on Twitter and all that stuff. It's just so fake because it's
so
like,
fake, bro?
I already know you guys are not like what. It's like there's a way to promo and go at each other and this that. Then there's just so obvious that you're just forcing it. And like the shit they be saying, like, they respect each other, but then now it's all this nonsense, like they hate each other and fucking I doubt.
Right,
And
like,
they even
like Sue Surf and Hitman's promo. It was like they faked the fight, and it was like, bro, you guys clearly are cool with each other. Like
Yeah,
no one bought it at all. Like, but it
no.
was still a good battle though.
Yeah,
so.
it'd probably be a good battle. But what league's that on? Oh, that's Hitman. Bags and Bodies.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's gonna be on Bags and Bodies.
Big K versus Twerk should be if Twerk shows up and is a good
Is that on
Twerk.
Hitman? Hitman's
Yeah. That should be a good fucking battle because there's history there too.
Yeah, I
So,
guess. Well, yeah, Twerk was acting extra during their battle, right? At the
him and Rock. Yo, we were standing right behind Twerk and John, so we couldn't even see little Tay Rock, and we could barely see Big K, right? So we're standing right behind Twerk, watching him fucking go crazy and act ridiculous. We're literally 2 inches away from Twerk, 3 inches away from Twerk. You know what I mean? Like we're that close to him. So
how is Anwar?
bro, like so
I heard
so
some things.
now that I know what I know about
Right.
and prayers out to him, but I will still say this, that cancer doesn't make your eyes look like you're on meth.
Right.
Yeah, he was on drugs. So it's like
He was definitely on
things can be
drugs.
true at the same time, you know.
Correct.
You know, you
He was
can
probably
have
like
an
probably doing
illness that could be
Adderall or
like that's
something,
sad, but also you could be drugged out of your gourd and on
Right.
a downward spiral.
If it was
You know?
DME, if it was Adderall, it was a lot of Adderall.
Well, you know, some dudes be doing like 60. They don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't fuck around,
bro. Like,
Yeah.
hooked. Like scary. Like it was like 28 days later type of shit. Like,
wow. Yeah, I heard some things. That's crazy.
Right.
Rob C, you're right. They're all, and so what they do is they give them the Adderall to be able to like write and prepare for the battles and perform during the battles, and then they give them the perk 30s to calm them down. Sue Surf, if you listen to their conversations, they've definitely exposed that. Like
right.
back when Surf was doing his show and shit, like
maybe it's just my type of personality or just like my chemistry or something, but I've only tried Adderall like twice, like back in high school, and that
back in high school,
exact opposite effect on me. I could not focus at all on
you
that.
couldn't focus,
like, scatterbrained everywhere, and like
you're just
you can't focus on a goddamn thing.
Well, you don't have ADHD, so.
Right. But so every person that takes it has it. Like that's what I'm saying.
No,
so,
I mean when I've taken it, it just makes me like just want to clean my house. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I just wanted to like do.
So you might have a mild case of ADHD. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I would just start like mopping the floor and doing some like deep cleaning. You know, that's what I would start.
You know what I ended up doing, because I would take it in high school every now and again. Like what I would end up doing is I wanted to do so much at once, and so many things were going through my head at once
right?
I would just sit there and just like let my mind race, and I would
I think that's
get anxiety, and
it's like just to sit there and try to write. It's like even if I had ideas, I'd have so many at once that I'm like I'm already a type of scatterbrain.
Your pen would be ahead of your mind. You'd be
exactly.
Right?
It's like
When I was rapping,
I'd try to like tally shit and like, write a word. I'm like, I'll remember this sentence by this word, and then I'll write another. And then after I look back, and it's just a bunch of jumbled and I'm like, what the fuck was I even trying to say here or there? Like, never worked for me. I've always been like a downer type of person when I did that shit anyway. But.
Yeah, when I was rapping, I took it a couple times. I couldn't write nothing, and I didn't want to. I wasn't in that mood. Like it was
right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, nah. So I don't know, man. People they take their stuff and you get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, your tolerance and shit.
Tolerance,
yeah.
But I guess sometimes you get in the mindset of like
I never was a fan
can't
of
write
uppers.
without this, like I need that to be able to
that's
do
wild.
this.
Yeah.
I think that comes into play because I've had that, when I was like in active addiction and shit. It's like I was still trying to write songs, but it's not even that I would like actively tell myself. I just be like, oh, I won't be able to. I need to get something first before I could write. But
then
it's
you
like,
get it and not
as
do
soon as
shit.
you do it, it's like, yeah, I'm not I'm not picking up a guitar and playing it, writing a song. I'm like even if I tried, I'd be like, oh, whatever. Like
that used to
it should last for like 6 hours too. It's like
and that used to be the thing, bro. We get like when I had my addiction with oxys, it was like, oh yeah, if I just get my oxys, I can write these verses, I can fucking go to work, I can do this, I can do that, and then I'd get it and I don't do shit.
Yeah, see, like oxys and all that shit, that just made me tired, man.
Well, see, for me, it gave me like energy, you know,
like
it boosts me, like it gave me this just burst of energy. But yeah, man, thank God that they got rid of the sniffable ones, and I quit before the heroin wave came. Oh yeah.
And you could always tell because people.
This was a long time ago.
Was it in a pill and you would crush it, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so it would just hit you faster?
Not even crush it. You would get a like
strainer,
like a kitchen strainer, and and it like crushes it up to even a finer little powder.
And what's the advantage of doing that over just taking it?
It's just sniffing it, or just crush it.
It kicks in faster.
Yeah, it hits you way
quicker. Faster. Okay.
Right.
And
stronger.
Good
wait.
Yeah. But the finer you strain it up, that's why I use the strainer instead of just breaking it up, because the finer it is, the better it works. But
that's wild.
But also because it has like the time release on it, so anytime you could always tell when someone like walked in the room and they had a black t-shirt, and at the bottom of it there was just these green stains on it from like people putting it in their mouth and then rubbing the time release off of these things.
Yeah.
So eventually all their shirts would have these green stains on them. And you're like, you could just tell. But
that's wild.
But
we're not glorifying any of this.
No.
This is
but
over a decade ago.
Have you guys ever? I know it's been in the
15 years sober. So
15 years. Have you guys ever? I know it's been in the news lately. You guys ever tried GHB?
No.
One time.
Never been around? Because it was around heavy in Michigan.
One time in the 90s with my buddy who passed away.
And how was it? Was it water? Like a water cap?
Yeah, it was a liquid. I don't remember the taste, but I think
it's a salty taste, yeah.
But I didn't get like super fucked up because I don't think they gave us enough, because we were young and it was my friend's older brother. Yeah. So I think they just didn't give us enough because they just
what it is when it's really concentrated.
Oh shit, we just got our first super chat. Lush, salute. Lush one in the building. Salute.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it like back in the 90s, like a little bit. But then the only time I ever really like, heard about it or like what it did really was when it like started to be used as like a
date rape drug. Well, what it was is, you see, it used to be legal. Right. You used to be able to get it at GNC. Yeah, like legit. So bodybuilders would take it because instead of drinking, it makes you fat and all the calories and shit, you would take the GHB, and it's just like an alcohol buzz, and it literally goes away in 45 minutes, and then you're like completely sober again, like you don't have no hangover or nothing, and it's legit. Like that's what it was. And in Michigan, like there was I would say like in 96 to like 2000, it was all over the place. And what it is was like when you buy it real concentrated, it's really like it's strong and it's salty, and you would dilute it with water, and that's how you would get more, and that's how you would sell it, right? So the more water you diluted it with, the less powerful it was, and more you would have to take. And I mean it was fun, but yeah, of course, when it's something liquid like that, you can pour it in someone's drink, you know what people are gonna do,
right?
Fucking crazy people. So. But it was like cool, and it's just like a chemical. It's in you make GHB in your body, so it's like it just adds to that. I don't know how it works exactly, but if you just take one cap, I mean, it was fun. But if you take too much, you just pass out. You literally just pass out, and you're out for like 30 minutes. But then you wake up. And
It's got to be salty, Sean Combs. Yeah, he
Right,
said DME said it was salty. Yep.
I could just imagine when you said earlier, you were like, "Oh, I don't remember how it tastes." I'm like, I don't know, but I just assume that it's like, it's either like rank or it's like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a
I
salty
was
water.
like, I was
Salty.
like 13 or so, like, and literally like it was such a little amount, and like I felt like, I felt like a little wobbly and a little like lightheaded, light on my feet, but other than that, like, yeah, I didn't really feel it too much.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yep, the good old days. But shout out to our first super chat, man. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, salute.
I know someone's gonna want to clip up that conversation.
Yeah.
They're always in the bushes watching, waiting for us to say something. Yeah.
But whatever, yo, it was the 90s, man.
No,
like,
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's just
like
The 90s was crazy.
ecstasy, yo. The
Ecstasy was
big.
wow.
Oh man. Shrooms, acid. We had everything. We did. Oh man.
Shrooms.
The 90s was.
So many people that died from like drinking too much water because they were rolling and they're just
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Heard that.
You can die from drinking too much water. Yeah.
That's
absolutely
wild.
you can die from drinking too much water, and it's like they're so like out of it, they don't realize that they're pounding like 1 liter, 2 liter. All of a sudden it's like, bro, you drank 7 gallons of water in the last 2 hours. Like,
I never liked acid. I like shrooms a little better than acid, but I don't know.
I like both, but I'll tell you that I've done acid a lot more because shrooms is the only time I've done shrooms and acid thousands of times combined, and
Thousands.
oh yeah, no, for real, and many hits at a time, or a lot of shrooms at a time. But the only time I ever had a bad trip was on mushrooms when I was like 18. We were watching.
I had a bad mushroom trip too.
We were watching an episode of The Simpsons, and and it was the episode where Krusty died, and everybody was laughing, and I'm like, yo, this ain't funny, and I had to walk out of the room. I went outside, yo. I started freaking the fuck out.
That's what happens. That's what happens. You start freaking. You get in your mind, and then you just like you start losing control, bro. And it's like,
now, mind you, this was not even close to the first time I had ever tripped. This was like
my bad mushroom trip was like one of my last trips I did.
Right. It doesn't
I had
matter.
done it many times, and then all of a sudden I had this bad trip, and then I didn't want to do it no more after that. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
I
what?
only took acid once, I think, actually twice. I took acid twice, and had a pretty good trip, but nothing like crazy.
Did you ever take the acid I sold that I was selling?
But I took mushrooms at least like 15 times. I only had one, like, I'll call it a half a bad trip, because I think it was just the environment and the person I was with. I started to like kind of freak out. But as soon as I got home and away from them, it was like bliss. So
that's the thing.
Where I was in that moment and shit.
Your environment is everything, man. And to me, like nowadays, especially, I like to be by myself because I like to just put on some music and just let the shrooms or the acid just take my mind wherever the fuck, like,
right.
Cause if there's that distractions everywhere, you're never gonna be able to fully experience the full journey of hallucinogenics. If there's a lot of distraction, you have to completely free your mind and let that drug just take over and take you.
I don't even know how, like, back in the day, I remember I took shrooms in chemistry class one time in high school. And like 10 minutes
Sick
school,
mosh, so.
I was like, why did I do that? I'm like,
I tripped
5 hours left to school and I'm going to be tripping my... So I went like...
I don't know how y'all took it in school.
I don't even know how, because literally like an hour later, I'm like, I need to go, bro. I need to go. So I walked up to this kid and I was like trying to form words, and he's like, oh, like, want to go to your house? I'm like, yes. But another time, like at parties and shit, like used to have these like ragers at my house, and it was like a keg party. So it's like everyone's drinking, and like they just like come up, open doors, and everyone's just like wandering in. and I'm tripping with like 3 people in my room, and we're just like off to the side trying. And it's like the second someone opens the door and comes in with that drunk energy, he's like, "What's going on here?" Is it like immediately you're like, I remember jumping up with my fist up, and the kid's a nice kid, like no offense to him, but I immediately was like, "You gotta go." I was like, "You gotta get the fuck out of here." He's like, I was like, "Turn around, get the fuck out of this room immediately." Like just something about his drunk energy was like, "No, can't have you in here. Gotta go." And
Pablo,
after that, I'm like, I can't trip around people anymore. No way. Like,
Pablo, that's a good segue. Do you remember the time? And I'll make this short, but do you remember the time it was me, you, and one of your other brothers, and we took some mushrooms, just the 3 of us, and we were sitting in my car, and we drove around your neighborhood until it kicked in, and we actually got lost in your neighborhood, but then we found our way back, and we were trying to figure out the friend's name on the show Home Movies, remember?
yeah.
So check this, right? So then we get back to Pablo's house. Now, downstairs is where like everybody always chilled, right? So like
right.
So we knew because there was mad people there. We knew everyone's downstairs, right? In our minds, that's what we're thinking. Because we're already tripping hard. So we're like, all right, we're gonna go in the house, run right up the stairs into Pablo's brother's room, and we fucking run up the stairs, run in the room, and everyone's in there. There's like fucking 12 people. I start grabbing people. I'm like, out. You all have to leave now. People are like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, out. Get the fuck out. Shut the door, locked it. We just fucking sat in there and tripped. But yeah, man, I like tripping, by myself or with people I trust. So.
Yeah, it's been. I haven't done it in a long. Well,
Yeah,
that's not. You know what's crazy?
I
haven't tripped in like legit in probably like 15, 20 years. But recently, I had a friend. Is like I don't even know. Is mushrooms even legal now? It might be. I don't even know.
Some
but
places.
they got him in like he had this candy bar. It was like looked like a Hershey bar, and then it just had mushrooms in it. So I took those. He's like, just take one, one of the things, and it's like and even on the back it's got all these instructions. I'm like, what world are we living in now? right? You take 1 for a mile, you take 2 for this, you take 3 to trip. So I took 1, and all that happened was my face got real red, and I started laughing a lot. So I did that about a couple weeks ago, and Ponce was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go, I don't know, nothing. I'm good. But that was it. I could just imagine if I had taken like more of an amount, I would have been tripping balls, because I did feel it for just taking that little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did trip over the summer. I tripped on shrooms over the summer.
A decade, to be honest.
Yeah.
I did. There was like a couple years ago, I went on like a acid binge because I got like a bunch of good acid, and I was like every weekend I was tripping, and I loved it. And then now I haven't, but I haven't done them in a while. But then I took some mushrooms at an Atmosphere concert not that long ago, and it was Atmosphere and Sublime with Rome, and I had a fucking blast, man. I
actually had a hit of acid, and I just like had it in my drawer for mad long.
I have a 10 strip right now.
But my brother, maybe like a year and a half ago, around, for this like 6 to 8 month period, it started, he would like trip like one day, and then like 2 or 3 days later he would trip again. And then like maybe 2 days after that, it started like that. And I was like, oh, maybe you should chill out a little. And it turned into every single day. And then he's like taking mushrooms and acid at the same time. And I'm like, all right, bro, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we used to candy flip. It was ecstasy and acid.
Yes, and acid. Yeah.
Yep. I went to Cedar Point amusement park in Ohio. I did that multiple times with candy flipping and going on the rides.
I loved candy flipping.
The only problem was waiting in the lines.
I know.
On the rides. Oh my God.
I know.
But we would just sit there and crack the fuck up, and people looking at us like, what is wrong with these dudes?
Yep, I know. I've been in that situation too many times where I'm with someone in public tripping, and oh
Yeah,
man,
it's like
you can't
whatever.
stop laughing and shit.
Right, then they think you're like laughing at them and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
or
they're-
maybe they don't. We're just paranoid because we're high. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, right. No, I think
any way they're looking at you makes you laugh even more. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I think most people know what's up. But
I mean, someone like us, we're out in person and we see someone that's like fucking bug-eyed and giggle, like has the giggles and they're giggling their face
Right.
off. Like I would know, but
right.
like I don't know. Most
Is Coke? You said Coke is legal in Vancouver? Is that what you say?
really?
I don't know. You can have up to 2 grams.
Mushroom is weed, mushroom and weed, and you can have up to 2 grams of coke.
Well, I
That's
think it's like what is it?
Decriminalized.
Yeah, decriminalized. So it's not
Well, no, mushrooms and weed is legal.
right, but I'm
Weed-
talking
weed's
The
about
legal
coke is
here.
the coke is decriminalized. I
Right,
think. Like,
What does
but
that
the
mean?
the
Like, I
cops
don't
will
even-
still
Like,
take it though,
you're
right?
not gonna get like charges for having this little amount.
They just
but-
can't sell it, maybe.
But
right.
they'll still.
I
The
don't think you
cops.
could be like out in public doing it either. Like if they come up to you, if you're sitting on a stoop and you're just like sniffing it, I still think. they're
Well,
gonna-
obviously, but I'm
Right, I'm
saying
just-
like, oh, okay, got you. All right.
That's
So
why.
there's a
All right,
difference between,
word.
like decriminalized and like legal. You know, like weed.
Yeah.
Legalized. I don't know. You know,
Now, speaking of weed legalization, it's still not legal in New Hampshire. It is medically, but it's super hard to get. And I still have to drive, half hour, 40 minutes to
You
go
got your
get some
card?
fucking. But nah, I can't. I
Oh, you don't
I
know a
can't get-
doctor. You don't know-
Yeah, I gotta get, but and the worst part is the governor that's about to be voted in is definitely not. Yeah, is against it. So
That's so crazy, man. They need to just-
and every state around us it's legal, but
right. That's how stupid that is, right?
Right,
it's
but it should always come down to the people. Like fuck who the governor or the mayor. It's like it should always come down to the people.
well, that's the thing. The vote, and here's the thing: our last governor said that if the vote passes, he'll sign it. But
it is
the vote passed 74 fucking percent said yes, and
Yeah.
and they still, and he still didn't, and now he's out of office, and now it's a new. And
Can you still get arrested? Is they still arresting people for it? Is that, or is it decriminalized, or
it's decriminalized, but they'll I think it's like their choice, kind of like they can arrest
they
you
can
for
still
it
arrest
if they
you for
want.
marijuana possession and all that crap?
Yeah, they'll write you a ticket if it's a small amount. Sometimes they'll just take it, but like I
Right,
guess
it's
it
so
really
weird.
depends
it's like,
on the
it's like
cop.
fucking Schrodinger's weed. Basically, it's like, oh, you can have it, but at the same time, you can't.
Right.
But
It's such a
also,
weird little.
If you're
thing
in
they
your
do.
house and you have it alone, that's fine. That's legal.
But
But
it's
Yeah.
but you're not gonna come in my house anyway without a warrant. So, but it's like
Yeah.
then you just can't have it outside or in your car or there. Or it's like, but then
but it's
that don't even make
live
sense.
free or
If I
die
had it
state.
in my house anyway, you wouldn't know. So what's the difference between it being decriminalized or not? Like,
Right. It's just a
does it
weird
make
way they
sense?
go about this shit. I mean, we had medical marijuana here for years before we had the they legalized
Michigan
it.
was one of the first states.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
got my card ever because there was so many like rogue doctors. They were just selling cards. Basically, yeah, give me
Yeah.
this money and they'll sell you a card. I never went and got it. I don't know why everybody's just go get your card. Go get your card. I was like,
Mhm.
I don't need to buy it. I can get it. I don't need to go
Yeah.
and buy it legally or whatever.
Right.
And
So-
that's the thing. I have people that I
Yeah.
can get it from.
even now
so-
when I've never walked into a dispensary and bought.
Oh,
legal.
really?
Like I just have a guy. My friends just bring over weed and they just leave it here.
yeah.
And I don't
There's
smoke.
an ad
I
dispensary-
smoke a little bit, but
But why?
Like,
bags and bags.
like right?
I go-
Schrodinger's sweet is crazy. No, but there's
Yeah,
like not
well-
dispensaries by where I live. I've gone in there and like looked around, but I've never actually bought anything from them.
Yeah, I've never had. but
So
my
I
friends
go.
and they
So
buy.
I get obvious. I get bud from this guy, but I do go to the dispensary because I like to get the Rick Simpson oil, and also sometimes they have strains that I really love, and it's like all right, well, I'm gonna buy that because it's something that I really like that I
All
can't
right,
get
so let's
from this
talk
other
about
guy.
that for a second. Let me ask you.
But yeah,
I've been smoking since I was 14 was the first time, right? And I haven't stopped since.
yep.
I never really like these whole strains and difference of. It's like they all do the same, basically around the same shit to me. I don't know. I know I've talked with my friends and they have different opinions on that, but to me,
Yeah,
it's such a mild difference to anything. I don't know. You guys really feel different?
it's a
What
big.
do you mean?
It's a big difference. So
As what though? Like,
so I'll tell you. For instance,
I'm with you, DME. People talk to their blue in the face about this strain and this
I
kind of
don't
high,
see any
and I'm like,
difference,
okay,
man.
I don't know.
okay,
I
but
just get stoned and that's it. I
That's
don't
how I see it.
no.
Like,
Yeah, but
Uh.
Pablo doesn't even smoke. But
anymore. Don't say it.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't smoke no more, Pablo? I didn't know that.
no.
I've had, bro. Like,
But all right, but
haven't
hold on.
smoked, like a year.
Hold
and a half.
on, let me
It's not
explain
that
the
long. I've
difference.
smoked my whole life. So
Yeah.
don't discredit me like I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not saying you don't know what
I
you're
got
talking
you.
about. But so there's a huge difference, right? When I smoke this strain right here
Right.
called soap, right? When I smoke this shit on my way to work, it puts me in a good mood. I'm chilling, I'm ready for the day, and it lasts for a good 2 hours, right? So then
2 hours?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah, well, so there's some strains that last 2 to 3 hours. Some last, half hour to an hour. It really all depends, and that's my major thing. And then you have a strain like Blue Dream, which is extremely overrated in my opinion. And you have it's a really good high, but it lasts like 20 to 30 minutes, and then it's gone. So it's like there's way more differences, but that's just one that I could think of off the top of my head.
I mean, I'll give you.
And
like,
also, hold on, real
I
quick.
want to say, like, indica and sativa. Okay, I've noticed like little differences between the two.
Right,
But,
there's
like,
an obvious difference there.
But talking about specific strains, like, I guess
the strains
like,
within the
No,
indica.
listen to me for a second. There are
maybe
different.
the length of high. Like,
No, it's not just that either. It is a different high, but also more importantly, certain strains are good for PTSD, anxiety, chronic pain. Some are good for insomnia, appetite loss. So like there's a lot of medical reasons. So each strain has different medical uses for it. So there are many different. I could go into like I could talk about this for the whole show. So
right, no, I feel you. I'm just saying, for me personally,
Do you think
no matter what strain I smoke, I'm gonna get the munchies. I'm probably gonna want to pass out.
Right, but
depends
what
on the
I'm
person
saying,
too,
say
maybe?
if you were in pain, right, and you smoke a strain that's not good for pain, you're going to be high, but you're still going to be feeling that pain. Whereas if you smoked a different indica, you wouldn't be feeling that pain.
I guess, but I'm gonna be real with you right now. I've never had weed take away any pain I've ever had.
Me neither.
Ever.
Me
So
neither. It's always been a mental thing with me. Just
Yeah.
never had physically.
Well,
any-
if it's
I've
severe
heard
pain,
people say they use it as like a painkiller, and I'd say it's just never worked for me in any way, shape, or form.
Now I agree with you. It doesn't take away pain for me either, because
Maybe
I think
like
that
mentally makes
I
you
think
able
that
to deal with it.
attributes. I think
Maybe
that
you think the
attributes.
pain isn't there.
Yeah,
Well,
right. Like,
well,
mentally,
no.
I can deal
Well,
with
no.
it more because I'm high.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with being addicted to opiates at one point, and
I guess, but I'm
that's
saying
why
even
weed
before I
doesn't
ever
do it
did
for the pain.
them, when
No, I've never been addicted to opiates, and I agree.
Right,
with you.
right.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Even before I ever even took an oat, remember the first time I think you were living at my house, so I had like a wisdom tooth removed, and I got painkillers, and I traded them all for weed because I didn't take painkillers at the time.
Right.
So I traded them for weed, and every time I smoke, like, you know, I'm just saying, I guess.
But maybe that strain wasn't good for weed.
Right. But I guess I
mean,
say
it wasn't good for pain.
The one exception is like muscle pain. I guess I'll grant you is that.
And that there are strains that are good,
like relaxes you and shit. Like if I'm working out, like, you know, I used to smoke and then work out. So like,
I wish Bruce Leaf was up here with me right
I
now.
could see that. Like it definitely like soothes your because I always had this one spot in my shoulder that always like locks up. And it like, I don't know why it's like, it just happens all the time. It's just like my tense spot that's there. My shoulder locks up. So, but when I used to get high and then work out, it would definitely help with that. Like
now I'm going to give you another difference real quick. Right. So I'm smoking this beautiful strain. It's a 50-50 hybrid.
You were smoking out of a bong too.
You're a salesman.
Yeah. and it's a happy high. It's an uplifting high, right? And then there's other strains that aren't uplifting like that, where you're just kind of like you're just stoned and you're just
couch potatoes.
What's
like,
your opinion on
not even couch potato? You're just not sociable.
Right.
Like right now I'm sociable, but if I smoke this other bud that I have,
you wouldn't.
I wouldn't want. There's a reason I didn't smoke that bud before, before or during this. So there are so like that could be a whole episode. There's so many different reasons, and I want to get Bruce Leaf up here with me to talk about it because
he was actually asking me. He's like, "We should talk about weed on the show," and I was like, "I guess." I'm like, "I don't know,"
because Pablo doesn't care, but bro, I'm so passionate about it.
That, like what DME said, I'm like, to go on and on about strains. I'm like, I get like,
I have friends that are just like social. They do that, and I sit there and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because I don't experience that.
To me, it's like, well, this high makes you feel this way, and this.
Yeah, I've never experienced that.
Like. For me, it's not so much that I didn't care. I was just like,
all right, hey, here
about it like that.
I'm gonna say this.
I think that's entertaining for an unscripted. That's what I was thinking, to be real. But hold on, DME,
but it is for the people in the chat that do smoke.
Yeah, no, I guess. Like I don't know.
But social, what's your opinion on the weed pens? Have you dabbled into these?
Yeah, so it's a different kind of high.
I do agree with that. These are different than a normal. It's more of like a mellow,
more light, right?
Yeah,
like a lighter.
Yeah,
I will agree with that. The last few times
they're always stuck, and you can't look.
They always get clogged.
This don't work.
I'm personally not a fan of them. I'll use them sometimes if I absolutely have to, but other than that,
people at my work, that's like all they do is they hitting these pens all day long, and they're all fucking stoned all day long.
I don't understand that. It doesn't get me stoned.
Well, especially at a restaurant.
Not like that.
When I was working,
hit it enough a couple
because it's not like all this smoke. You know, it's like, oh, let's go in the freezer, and it's just like.
We used to do that. I used to go in the freezer.
Yeah,
and I would hit the one hitter. And then or when I'd be at my mom's house.
These days, all they gotta do is like, oh, I got the pen. That's why they're ripping it all day.
I'd be at my mom's house. I'd take a bounce and blow it through the bounce so it would it wouldn't smell. What is that?
A block of hash.
Oh, hash. I haven't seen that in years.
And
hash. Still around?
And I'll tell you something right now. This is because I've been getting a lot of shitty ass bubble hash lately. This hash is incredible. And
like
I said, I barely smoke. They just come over, they just bring these over, and I have like tons of these, and I don't even.
And I'm gonna say this too. That's what I was gonna say. DME doesn't smoke that much, right?
I used to.
Right, you used to, but like back in the day, there wasn't like as many different strains, and we were just smoking whatever we could get, right? So
there was times where it was hard to even get weed. There was dry times where it was like
of course.
Yeah.
But now we have all these different strains for all these different purposes, and if you don't smoke that much now, I feel like no matter what you smoke, you're just gonna get a high as a high. Exactly. Yeah. But for people who smoke a lot like me, there are definite differences. I feel like
sort of a connoisseur. Like, okay, we got it.
I do. Well, my girl. I've said this before when she was, and then we'll move on because I feel like we've been on the topic too long. But my girl, when she was in college, I wrote 3 or was it 4? I think 3 or 4 papers for her and on medical marijuana and like why it would be good to legalize it, because it was before they legalized it, and she got a fucking A on all those papers, and I wrote
Yeah,
them
well,
for
I
her.
mean, I feel like that's a pretty easy argument to make, especially at the time.
Right, but these papers were incredible.
Right.
Incredible.
I used to write these theses, bro.
I'll read them. Not today, but I have them. I still have them.
They
read
weren't
them.
even mine. I was writing them for someone else and getting You're bragging about an A someone else got on paper.
Hey, whatever. I did the work,
I know,
motherfucker.
I'm just fucking with you. I just think it's funny.
Hey, if I wrote your bars for D Money, I would feel like I won too.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Like,
So, but yeah, nah. So I just, especially medical reasons, and mental health reasons, are the major differences for weed strains, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I believe it.
Sorry, I'm passionate about it.
No, I know it makes for good, back and forth when
yeah,
when we're just like meh, and you're like, no, this is why. Like, it feels so weird.
And I come in with facts though, and I'm
this time of the day, it's like Jesus.
Yeah, Pablo's usually not up this time, or not usually.
Well, I'd be like waking up right now,
Yeah, I usually wake up around 12, between 12 and 1. Go to bed like at 6. It's good enough. 6 hours. So, but
yeah, that's what I get, 6 hours.
Yeah. People are like, why? I mean, you work at a bar and you tell me what time you're gonna go to sleep and wake up.
Right.
Like, what do you want from me?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've worked in many
restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my whole life too, basically. Even before cooking, waitering, dishwashing. That's what I've been basically doing most of my life. So.
Right. And that's why I thought, I was like, oh, I'm done. That's why I started doing roofing probably like 10 years ago now. But that's just fucking awful. Like, yeah, it's cool that you get time off and stuff. And it's like you make good money while you're doing it. But it's just like.
So you do roofing right now?
No, right now. No, I stopped doing that.
Oh, you stopped doing it. Yeah.
And this is why I stopped, because it's brutal. It would be like 6, sometimes 7 days a week. Like anytime there was work, you had to work, because then you knew that there would be times when there wouldn't be any work. So you just try to work as much.
Yeah, because you don't know when it's gonna rain and shit.
No, yeah, exactly. Then there's like the off season where it's like, oh, I mean, you can shovel roofs during the winter and shit, but it's like there is like off periods. So it's just like the craziness of like some days you'll work like fucking 80 hours and you're just like dead tired. Then other times you got nothing to do, and it's like you make a lot of money, but when you have it all and you're sitting there, you're like, yo, I made like this much money this like last month, and it's like you're so busy while you're working that you don't even have time to like do anything fun or spend it.
That's a fact.
It's like the whole summer goes by, and then you have all this money, you didn't get to do anything, so then you start trying to like spend it on fun shit, and then you're in the period where you're like not working that much, it's not as much work, and you're like, oh shit, I kind of blew all that money that I did have. And then it's like, yeah, it's just like I can, and it wears you down, man. Like your body climbing ladders with like shingles and all.
All right, let's get into some topics.
So I'd rather work in a restaurant than this shit, to be real.
Yeah, that's but between my restaurant time and the only other job I really had was working for Comcast, and it was kind of the same thing.
I worked for Comcast for 11 years.
Yeah, and I was. Were you installing cable? Right?
Yeah,
that's what I was doing.
We
but the
had
hours
that
was
conversation.
7 in the morning to 7 at night.
Yeah,
all right,
mine
6 days a week. It's like, what are you supposed to do after that? You can't do nothing after work because you're tired and you got to wake up early. So you're basically just only working, and that's your life. There's nothing
Yep.
else. You can't do
There was
anything.
nothing else. Yep.
And you
I
got
worked
one day off just to
Sundays, too.
chill, and that's it.
Yep.
Right.
3 years in a row, I worked 7
But you
days
did
a
it
week.
for 3 years.
For 3
Yeah,
years, 7
I
days.
fucking quit after like 8 months, 9 months.
But nah, I was there for 11 years. But yeah,
And it was
man.
crazy because the person who I did the roofing for, right? So I'd be working these ridiculous hours every other day. The person I was working for was my girlfriend's stepdad.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
would go to work, and then she would be home like bored. So sometimes I would like leave her my keys and give her some money, like, oh hey, if you want to go like do something, have fun while I'm gone all day.
Yeah.
But then like literally I started noticing I'm like crazy miles on my car and so, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
Like, where is this bitch going in my car? Like, what does she do? And it's like, eventually, it's just like, all right, bro. Like, this is not a good situation. Like, this
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean? But it's like, at the same time, like, I mean, fuck you. Like you said, you can't even do anything because you're just gone so much. It's like,
Yeah. That ain't living. That's not living.
So,
all right, so what you got? You got some topics?
Well, you know, so listen, if I moved to Michigan, right? If I moved to Detroit, would you give me a job?
Yeah, if you want, if I could fit you in, definitely.
Because I'm trying to get out of New England. No,
Are you
I'm
really?
just kidding. Yeah, I am eventually, but nah. So Pablo's dad's from Detroit, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I heard that before.
Yeah. So
from the city or from like the suburbs?
Pablo.
Because everybody says Detroit.
He was from the city.
Yeah,
okay.
he was from
anyone around the metropolitan area. It just says Detroit. It's just simpler, especially when you talk to people out of town.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna tell them I'm from Farmington Hills or Lavon.
Right,
you know, everyone just says
he was from Detroit. He used to tell me these stories about stealing cars and and not even to like do anything. Like they would get
Pablo's dad was awesome.
Oh, he was crazy. He was telling me about Irish car bombs, I guess, which is like you would drive it as fast as you could and then slam it into reverse and then do it again and over until you just like blew the motor out, and then they get out and just run and start laughing and go do it to another car and shit. I'm like, what the
That's
fuck?
fucked.
What's the point even stealing the car then? Like,
yeah, I mean Detroit was wild, especially you know, back in the day we used to have Devils. You guys ever heard of Devil's Night?
Yeah, oh yeah, Devil's Night. Yeah,
and the day before Halloween.
I started looking into it after I heard the D12 song.
Oh, that's right. They did do a song about it. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about
that. I was
that.
like, what is this fucking Devil's Night shit?
Yeah, that shit was wild. As growing up, I mean, they basically just burned the city down every. But they don't really do that no more. It's kind of over. They renamed it Angels Night, and it kind of lost its power. It's a good thing. Like, what are you doing? You're burning everything down.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So I mean, I grew up on 7 Mile. We were born. I was there for about 10 years or 9 or 10 years. Then we moved to Southfield, which is about 5 minutes. Like so, Detroit. So I was on 7 Mile, and then we moved to 10 miles. So it's literally 3 miles down the road, right? Yeah. But it's the suburbs now, like it's Southfield, and we lived there, grew up there. So yeah, I mean, I love it here. It's home. It's cool. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. Even Detroit. There's a lot of decent places down there. And downtown is way nicer now than it used to be.
Yeah, you said, "Is Pablo is your dad, white boy Rick?"
Your dad, white boy Rick, right?
Yo, he might as well have been like. He was awesome.
Bro. I mean, him and his friends knew karate and fucking. They used to get like purposely. You gotta think this is the '80s, right? When like Steven Seagal movies were popping.
Mm-hmm.
So they would like go out on the weekends and get drunk to purposely try to get in bar fights so they could show off their taekwondo and shit. He was a fucking lunatic for real. So.
Yeah. Yo, he used to teach us Blaze Kwando in the garage.
Kwando is crazy. Yeah, my dad's name was Blaze.
Yeah.
Like the fucking Streets of Rage character. So we always laugh because we say like, if you went downstairs after like midnight to just go get a drink and he was down there, you'd get cornered by him and be his like his little stunt dummy, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And
hold up your hand, and then he'd start like practicing moves. He's like, "No, watch. Now try to block this. No, try to." And all of a sudden, he's like,
and
he's
you'd
not
get
doing it,
fucked
like,
up too.
yeah, he's not doing it like softly. He's like really slapping your hands and kind of throwing you around in the kitchen at 2 in the morning. Like, it's like teenage kids, like friends would come over my house and shit. They'd be like, "Oh, like, bro." And because we would just be high playing video games, and all of a sudden, like a half hour later, we'd realize,
Or
like,
tripping.
where did Tim go? And then we'd go downstairs and be like, "Oh, he's fucking getting beat up by my dad in the kitchen for the last half an hour."
Oh, man.
Oh fuck, man, that's too good. Blaze Quanto is fire.
So yeah, so DME Sharon, did you see Sharon versus 40 bars yet?
Of course, yeah, he bodied her bad. Everybody's battled
Yeah,
this year.
Can you even call that a battle though? Like, did she even get through more than like 4 bars? Like,
well, I mean, what, like, at some point, we're like 40 bars. Like, this is all her battles recently. Like, what's going on?
right?
Can
She's
she
like,
even get through a battle? Why is she? I don't know.
the female?
What's the excuse here?
It's always up and down, and it's like it sucks. Like that, all we have in Boston is fucking 40 bars and Chilla.
Oh yeah,
Jones
she is Boston,
and
right?
Excel.
Mhm.
Yeah, like come on.
I know, for real.
We
bro.
don't got shit. You got Calico.
Yeah.
But that, what else? Clean?
What else?
No, what else? Oh, Ill Will, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you
Pontiac.
could. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could. It's
Pontiac.
the same state. Yeah, it's the same.
There's
state.
I mean, there is a big rival. Like that's the only rivalry we really have is Pontiac versus Detroit here in Michigan. Like that's kind of like, the thing here where they don't really represent, like, because everyone in Detroit either represents Detroit or you're from Pontiac. That's it. There's really no other like city
Right.
that even cares about what they represent. JC.
Yeah. What was the last good like JC performance?
Yo, Mac.
I'd be lying if I could even remember. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like he fell way the because people
surf
talk
battle,
about him versus. But was that really that dope though? Him versus
No. I'm not saying like that's the only battle I even remember.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And then even before that, like he had a couple.
I feel like he had a good performance recently, and I don't even know if I saw, but I heard people saying it was good.
Yeah, I never believe anyone because then when I actually go watch it, I'm like, this was fun. Like I remember people were saying like, oh, Jerry West had this crazy standout performance on when Loaded Lux battled Rum, Jerry West versus Tay-Rock, right? And then I finally watched it. I'm like, Jerry West is ass, and like, what the fuck are people talking about? Like, so I don't take anyone's opinions on battles these days anymore because what people hype up is like, oh, this standout performance. I'm like, this shit is regular to me.
You think we just been watching it for too long?
I think that's part of it. Someone find like on one.
If you're new to it, like let's say it could be exciting to you. You know what I'm saying? The new shit. Like because I remember like when I took my break, like as I've been watching it since fucking DVDs or whatever, and then you get out of it for a while, and then it comes onto YouTube and all that stuff. 07. And then 09, and then I stopped watching it maybe for a few years. And then when I come back and like Summer Madness 2, 3, King of the Dot, everything is so crazy to me. And then, I take a break and come back and it's fire again. But then I feel like we're at a point now where we've been watching it for so long. And how many more bars can we hear? Like how many?
I think that's definitely part of it, but also just that era you're saying, the Summer Madness 2 era, from that point forward, the next like 2 years was like one of the most lit periods in battle.
It definitely was.
So I think that's definitely part of it. That part of it is definitely that we've been watching for 20 years and we're like we're just not as, but at the same time, it's not like it's like we're just like, oh, everything's trash. It's like I think people are just gassing mediocre shit, and we're just going, that's regular, and I've heard something like that 1,000 times. Like
battles just had different like a feel. Like even like my favorite era was like the whole like 2013 to 16 King of the Dot shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all the fucking like I don't know, Disaster versus Jonai and Iron Solomon and Pat Stay and all the fucking battles for the fucking the chain. And back then it was just a whole different, I don't know, it was just something different about it.
Yeah, had a different feel. We talked about this before, me and Social, and we were saying there was a different feel, and I feel like you can go on YouTube right now, right, and look up Bender versus Arcane, and not only the battle will come up, but a promo for the battle will come up underneath it, and the promo for it that's like 2 minutes has like
So
40,000 views or something.
Yeah,
They got you hyped before. It wasn't just like, oh, there's a million battles every day, and oh, we're just gonna, oh, now it's out on YouTube. It's like I was so hyped when they announced it. I remember they had like, even back in the day, remember they had like the haircut dude, Ari Blends, and all these like guests featuring people. They were there, like they on video talking about, oh, this matchup, Dax Diggity. He's like, yo, Dax Diggity, get the name right. Or whatever. Like all these dudes, they were like talking about how big this battle's gonna be, and then they like put the montage together with the scratch records and stuff. And it's like they put out the promo, you were like hyped as fuck.
hyped up for it.
Oh my god, that drops next Friday. Like you were waiting for it to. Now it's like they could put out a whole card for free, and I'm like, like.
Yeah, I think in the caffeine, when caffeine came around, kind of, especially for URL, kind of like diluted it, because when you give something away, when you give us like, say you're always paying for a product, and then when you give it away free for 2 years, it's hard to put that toothpaste back. It's like, all right, so now we got to pay again full price. All right, like it doesn't correlate in your mind. And then when they and then again they inflated all what the battlers were getting paid, and now they expect to get paid that, and when they're not getting paid that, I feel like they're gonna write to that less money. Like, oh, I was getting all this on caffeine, and now you're only paying me this. Well, my performances.
Right. That was a big point. I feel like I even made the conscious decision I was like, I'm going to sacrifice some of this third round in the D Money battle. That was kind of the point I was making. I was like, bro, like the caffeine era, I was like, we saw the same names on our screen like over and over again.
Every week.
It's like, no, it's like, bro, okay, do I want to see drugs for the third time this week?
Right.
Like, Jesus, bro. Like at that point, it's like, oh my god, like, and they're just throwing so much money at these people and cranking out this like, conveyor belt bullshit, that to the point where now it's like, okay, now good battles, but like you said, they've given them so much money that now it's like, okay, now you want them to write at this level, but for less money and bigger than it. Like it fucked everything up. I feel like.
I wonder, do you think if we're like, let's say in 20 years, we're going to look back and that was the golden era? Do you think it could ever revive itself? No. Do you think that's it? Like we past the golden era, and now it's just going to, I think it'll always be there, but I don't know if it's ever going to recapture that.
It's
magic.
never going to be the same.
Yeah.
I think,
when is like the new crop of battlers? I feel like it's been like, where's the next generation?
The next generation
here's the thing,
is the young fucking LGBTQ kids on iPad.
No,
that's what's sad. Is like
that is wild, man. Like
the new crop,
it can't be that. Like
it can't be that.
That's not. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
I mean, what else is there? Like, there's a couple all right people that it's like, okay, this dude's all right. Like, who's that kid? MME had Rohizi or whatever, the Indian kid. Like, he's all right. He's got some talent. Like, there's people there that like they could, if they actually put the time and effort into like building up newer talent. But the thing is, like, they just want to fast track everything. And then anyone that is a standout, they try to like farm them to a different league. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what
we're just not getting
like I know the solution. I don't know the solution.
The organic.
Now,
like,
well, I'm going to tell
anymore.
you. I'm going to tell you, right. And here's why. Because back in the day, how battlers, the legends of today, most of them got their name was either through running the gauntlet in these freestyle tournaments and winning them, or just making a name for themselves, or standing on the street corners of New York freestyling and rapping and rapping on having battles on Smack DVD and really having to prove themselves and put in that work for free.
Yep.
Now they're just taking these people, these actors out of Hollywood, literally is what it seems like, and giving them a persona, like a wrestling persona,
Right, like that
like
Medea,
a character.
that was in the Medea movies. What's his name? Hansel or what? I
I don't
forget.
know. I don't
And
even
now
know.
I think another problem is
Hansel.
Mhm.
I think another problem is now because that first generation, they were rappers first.
Right.
All right. Now, if people don't rap, they learn to battle rap first.
Right.
Mhm.
All
So
right?
it's
There was never that before.
impossible.
You always had to make music first or rap first, and then battling is on the side. Now there's literally people who battle rap and have never even made a song. I don't even know how that even can be possible.
And they're getting paid
They
a
grew
lot
up
of money.
watching battle rap, and they
Right.
were fans of this, and they go, "I want to do that." And like you said, they've never even held them like what
A lot
battle?
of them didn't
Like,
even
yo,
know what
this is
this
all you
was.
have,
You
and
should
you've
have to
never
put
held a
release a
microphone.
mixtape first before you ever get on the stage. That's how I look at it. Like it's something.
But
You
it's
know?
funny. I was just talking about this the other day, and okay, show a abridged version. So basically, what you were saying about running the gauntlet and shit back in the day, but think about it though. Like Loaded Lugs, did his name really get crazy buzzing from his like 106 and Park run, or was
No,
it
it was from
one
rapping on the
battle
block.
with Midwest Miles? How badly he fucking went off. He body bagged Midwest Miles and had one of the craziest performances anyone had ever seen. And in that one battle, that meant more than like 14 Tay-Rock battles, than like 7 Sioux Surf battles, everything Hitman Holler was doing. There's a reason he was held so high. It's because of his standout performance in one fucking battle.
And he was battling on street corners every fucking day, like
Right.
so
I'm
people
saying
knew
his
him
name
in New
got,
York.
like big and buzzing like around, but as soon as it hit the camera, all it took on the camera lens to get
Was
out to
that
the people
one
was that one performance, is what I'm saying.
Facts.
Let me ask you guys something. So we saw how Smack DVDs came and how that was all shot and all that. Why is it never been tried? Why don't people just go on the damn street and record them like that? No mics in the street like Smack would do. How come no one ever tries that anymore? You know what I'm saying? Where just to go to
I actually have
somewhere with
something in the works for that, so that would like I'm gonna be doing
you would
with
think, like
Pablo.
you're
So,
saying, though,
but
like,
a bigger
that was a
league,
good formula.
yeah, they need to go back like a big league, like King of the Dot or something. They definitely need to go back to something like
go to
that.
the street. All right, get a regular camcorder and record off of that. You don't need all this high mic production and all this. It sounded fine. What was wrong with audio? Right?
It's
Nothing.
crazy. That's how like Don't Flop, King of the Dot. If you go back to the earliest batters, they're just street corner battles, just like Jump Off used to do and shit.
Yeah, and that's a good feel. You could bring that back and bring that feel back, and there's something to that where people like gravitate to that, and it gives more of an authentic than every single event is in a club or wherever with the production. And I mean that's fine. I understand that, and the audience and but there should have been like especially with Smack that he created it, right? And then he never went back to it once they started URL. Like, have they ever done anything remotely like that?
Well, that's what the volume was supposed to be, right?
That's not
right.
it,
I know, but I'm saying in their minds, they're like, "Oh, volume, we're bringing it back to the essence."
Even
so
if I was Smack, I would grab.
It's a
I would
movie set.
grab the camcorder again and let him record it. You've
Yep.
done it before.
Yep.
You don't gotta pay. Like, you're not too good to still do it. Why not? It'd be so
If someone
crazy.
said
People go
that, I
crazy.
it might have been Calico or something like, "Yo, Smack, why don't you just grab the camera?" And you're talking about all this money. The money ain't coming back and shit. Like, why you're paying this cameraman? You're paying that. Like, instead of shelling out 40 grand to Avocado because he's the only one who can film battles for some reason because it's lighting, and let's do 360 nonsense. And it's like, bro, just set a tripod or you hold it, and 2 people can rap. Like,
I think they complicated it, man. They
definitely did.
You know, and it's so simple because they literally he made the blueprint, and then he never went back to it. At least for one event, you would think, hey, old school Smack DVD style. I'm gonna hit the streets. Smack got the camcorder. He's recording it. Let's see what happens. That would have been so cool, but they never even bothered to even think about it or try or care to do it.
Well, I think because there's inherently less money in it, because then you can't sell all these tickets to a venue.
Yeah.
It's just outside. And then even if all these people come and you try to charge them money, now you have no now the liability of their safety is on you because they're all there for your event. If you want to get paid off of it, and there's no way to make sure that they're not armed. There's no way to make sure something doesn't pop off. So if they were to do something like that, they would have to do. It's a great idea. I agree. They would just have to be less greedy. Say, okay, we're not going to get the like the in-person venue sales. Do it small, but I like that better anyway, because then it gets, once you start getting, oh, this person's crew and there's too many people, it gets too much gas anyway. Just have a couple people and do the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
they're never gonna do it though, because they
have the app though. I don't know why they need to I'm not buying this bullshit that they're not making money, bro. Like they got to be killing it on that. Even if you had 5,000 subscribers.
I'll tell you something right now.
And they're double charging people too. So
right.
Yeah. But yo, I just got some crazy intel from that these leagues are making a fuck ton of money and lying about the money that they make. And the person who told me is somebody who's battled on multiple leagues and multiple times and is a huge name. And he said that, you know, they're ripping these battlers off and they're taking all this money. So the money's there. There's no question about that, but they're fucking greedy. So they're never gonna do an event where they lose money. Even though those Pat Stay events, they definitely made something off of those. The battlers battled for free. Like, I'm sure they got something out of it.
Wow. It's just I don't know, man. I think they should at least try it or do something, especially with the URL app, because you've got the app. It could just be a exclusive app event, right? You don't need to. They do it anyways with the quiet rooms. They don't sell tickets there. So instead of doing these little like smack volumes quiet rooms, you do something like that, and it to me it'd be the same thing, you know, as far as cost wise, or even cheaper, because now you're cutting out all the production. You don't need none of that. So isn't that like a heavy part of the price? Is right. The production and the camera work and all that shit and the other. I think everybody likes to overcomplicate things, and they just got to go back to what. And
you make a lot of pay-per-view sales, you know, like Haji said.
I think I honestly think, and I know King of the Dot actually did this. I think the pay-per-view era should just be dead. I think it's such an old model, especially with streaming now. I really think that these companies, these battle rap leagues need to utilize what's in front of them, and they've built these YouTube channels. I think they should just put all their fucking pay-per-views behind the memberships on YouTube. All right, charge whatever, and that would minimize bootlegging, because it's so easy to get a membership. You can just click on a button, boom, you're a member. All right, you don't got to go through all these hoops to get a pay-per-view and all this stuff. And $60, you charge a flat rate, $10 a month, whatever it is. All right, you're a member. All right, and you get all the pay-per-views. And you don't want to be a member no more, you cancel your shit. But trust me, more people, and then their memberships will go crazy. And that's how everyone's making money on YouTube. So why, with URLs, million subscribers or whatever they got, and King of the Dot, didn't they just do that recently with their membership?
King of the Dot has been, so since the Massacre event, I've been seeing their page. They were like, oh, what would people want us to do? Early access to patrons and stuff. So people were like,
they should have their pay-per-views just streamed to members.
But the only thing they're doing is dropping the Massacre battles like 2 days before YouTube.
Yeah, you can watch it 2 days early if you're a Patreon.
They really need to just go all out.
I'll wait the 2 days.
If they went all out and said, listen, our pay-per-views are behind memberships live. All right, boom. I think you might not make as much money in the short run, but I think the short run, but in the long run, you know, that shit's gonna add up. That membership monthly, you're gonna get monthly income every month. Absolutely. And the problem is they don't want to give that cut. A lot of these companies, they don't want to give that cut to YouTube, which is like ridiculous.
Avocado probably is like, well, my system and the way we do our pay-per-view,
the rap grid and all that crap. All right, but that's such an that model's dead, bro.
Yeah,
like, I'm just
created for sure.
I don't want to. I remember in the height of it, dude. I was paying, like, before caffeine came around, I was probably paying like $200-300 a month. That's not sustainable to watch battle rap, because this league's 40, this league's 50, and there's 2-3 a month. What are we talking about? I can't. It doesn't bother me, but how does a normal person like be able to afford this shit? You can't.
Right, especially with all these other streaming services that it's like, okay, they got Hulu.
Right, you could be at $1,000 a month.
Now you
I know,
now
seriously,
URL.
seriously.
Now you
I
need
pay a fuck ton of
and
money.
it's like,
Yeah,
come on.
at a point, it's like, bro, like, okay, like when I
But
watch
yeah,
Kirk,
Haji, I do think they sell more than 10,000 pay-per-views.
yeah, like for instance,
for
with
the
Curb,
big events.
I would just watch. I would only get HBO when Curb was on, and I'd cancel it. It's very simple.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah.
And I could do it on my phone, and because they allow you to, HBO allows you to buy it through Apple, even though they got to give Apple 30%. URL, they don't do that. They don't allow you to buy it through Apple because they got or Google. They got to give that 30%. So you have to go to a website, sign up through them, and this, that, and the other. So, and it's almost impossible to cancel. So now every time I've canceled, I had to dispute the charge because I couldn't cancel. So now I can't even use that credit card again if I want to resubscribe. I got to get a different credit card. So I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing it. If they would have, if URL would have just let me buy it through Apple, I would have done subscribed and unsubscribed 100 times by now, and they would have got money from me. But they won't do that because it's the penny pinching every penny.
Right,
it's
and
crazy.
like literally, trying to cancel a subscription,
it's
like
possible.
They should never make it that.
Yeah,
and
it's a
not
pain
even
in the
that
ass.
app specifically, like stuff I
A
was
lot
recently on
places,
my phone trying to like. You go to like a homepage or something, and you're looking all around. There's no just like cancel subscription, cancel membership. Even
they don't use the Apple. Yeah, they have to make a go around. They don't want to pay that. See, anybody that does use it, I just go to my phone. I push subscriptions. All right, there's HBO. I click it and I put cancel subscription. Boom, it's done. And if I want it again, I resubscribe. Boom, I'm good. And it takes me 5 seconds. Right?
Yeah, they should know that
they
just
don't want to
because
pay
someone cancels, like you said, the easiness of canceling is just gonna make someone subscribe again. So
it's the easiness of subscribing too. Yeah,
exactly. So they're just gonna subscribe again, and
when when they want to see some shit instead of looking for bootlegs. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much easier. And they crying about bootlegs, but they don't make it easier to watch. So
yeah, I know that's.
I don't know, man. So. All right. What else? I was watching you guys' episode about the Eminem album. Can we talk about that real quick? What? Can you refresh me? What was your opinion on the last album?
The last album, we both said it was good.
Okay.
Couple tracks on there.
Did you ever listen to it backwards?
Oh, we did talk about that. I never actually listened to the whole thing backwards. Yeah.
So I did a couple times. I even did a live on Rumble listening to it backwards. And I think Eminem really missed the boat on feeding into that. I don't think. Well, I don't know, but I mean, according to him, there was no intention to have it set up like that, right? Because I thought for sure when I did listen to it backwards, when he came out with the deluxe version, that it was going to be backwards. All right. And with whatever additional tracks, he didn't do that, and they didn't feed into it, and they're not even acknowledging that that's even a thing. I swear to God, it plays better and it works. If it wasn't done purposely, it's just a wild coincidence. Eminem's last album played backwards. Okay. So what happens is if you listen to, because when I first listened to the album, I did not understand. I did not understand, first of all, the placement of Houdini. Okay, because Houdini is almost towards the end, right? And it's guess who's back? But guess who's back? Well, you've been back the whole fucking album. Slim's been. So that don't make no sense. But if you listen to it backwards, right when Houdini plays Guess Who's Back, that's where he appears. He appears there and moves forward all the way to the end, where the first track, which would have been the last track, is just Slim by himself spitting that old classic, that first track of the album, if you remember it.
Yeah, Renaissance.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and then that should have led, because when you listen to it backwards, he actually kills Eminem. Right. And
we
Slim
should have got
wins.
to that more. But
he didn't. They didn't feed into it, I still don't know if he meant to do it like that and just is not acknowledging it. It fucking works, and I only listen to it backwards. And no, if it just doesn't work, it just doesn't work the other way. It doesn't make sense the other way.
Right.
I did say there's a couple tracks that
or you could have just left Houdini off the album.
Well, no, Houdini's the whole key to it. Because
I know, but
guess who's back? I'm back. And that makes him reappear. And in the backwards version, when you listen to Guilty Conscience 2, he wakes up at the end of that.
So good. So
right,
good.
but he wakes up at the end of that. So it's not like that was the first appearance. That was him, a premonition. All right, and then guess who's back comes on. Because if he wakes up and then Paul calls him and he laughs and then there's Slim and he boom boom, and then it goes into him taking over the fight between them, and then at the end he finally wins. And then what he should have done, all right, after that he should have released a whole Slim Shady album. And he is using the Slim Shady AI. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like that voice it's a Slim Shady AI.
Because he doesn't do that. He can't.
You can hear it's a younger version of him.
Yeah.
He's rapping it, but then they put the voiceover on it. There's actually YouTube
voice.
channels on YouTube right now. They're taking all the Eminem songs. Like they'll take a old Eminem song and they'll put modern voice Eminem on it. They'll take the newer ones and put the Slim Shady on it. And I fucking love those. And I don't know, man. I think he missed the boat on that whole backward shit.
Yeah, why not make it canon? And when you release it, just if
because the deluxe is stupid. Like it was the same album with what?
3 more
a
songs.
Fuel remix, and then a
Kyrie
song with
Luka, which was
Luka. I didn't even really.
Yeah.
It just didn't make no sense. I think he would have killed it with that concept. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. But like you said, my brother the other day he was listening to it was Slim Shady AI, but it was like some random songs of like what it sounded like early Eminem, but it was like I don't know if you had Chat GBT write the bars or
no. There's a lot of where they'll rap like Eminem and then they'll put the Slim Shady voice on it.
Right.
There's a lot of that.
It's actually kind of fire. I was like,
no, they can like. There's been some Pac stuff that they've done, and there's a couple of guys that are pretty good at it. What I really really liked. You guys, his first album, Infinite. You're familiar with that?
Of course.
They did it with modern voice. It sounds fucking great, bro.
Yeah,
like his voice now.
The album
back then it was very.
That's insane.
Yeah, imagine his voice now rapping those lyrics because it does sound kind of. He hadn't gotten to his like groove yet, with that. Like
right. Also, I think the main thing with that album is just the production of it itself. It's like you could tell it was more like low budgety and kind of some of the beats. It almost had like a tingy sound to it, like. Yo, I got evidence. I've been clever ever since. Like has this like kind of high.
I love
like,
that.
ting.
So.
Yeah.
No, I like the songs are fire, but just like I could tell what he's saying.
Yeah, with the modern voice on it, it's the same with Pac. Like Pac's early stuff before his first album. There, you can just there's something. It just don't sound right. I've had people put the modern Pac. I've heard people put the modern Pac on those songs, and it's like insane. It's like a whole new song. All right, because it's like it's him, but it gives that that modern feel before he died.
I wish I could do that with some of my older songs. Like
me too. Right?
I listen to it, I'm like, why does my voice sound like that? Like, if I could put like modern Pablo voice on
modern Pablo, right?
Like that was
that's where like music right now. This AI stuff, like it's crazy, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's gonna ruin music, honestly.
You think it'll ruin music?
Yeah.
Well, eventually, what it is, but I feel like we're already in the point where people that don't have talent are already making music. So it's like, I see what you're saying, Social, and I've been on that side of the argument. Like, yo, this shit eventually it's gonna be a bunch of people. They can't even fucking they don't even know any notes. They don't know anything about music. They don't know anything about tone or cadence or pitch. But essentially, it's like
it's been here, but I feel like I got faith in music and it's long. There's always going to be that crap, like even with the what it was the auto-tune era, right? Yep. But there's always still going to be the artists that have talent and you can hear it in their voice, and the real singers are always going to be there. And you just got it, but it's just going to be harder to sift through. That's all. You just got to find the artists
that think that the AI is real. Like
it's hard to detect, man. That's the problem, right? It's like you don't know, and it's only going to get better and better and better and better. So it's like where are we really headed here? Right?
Well, what's even scarier is like the deep fake shit. When you see like videos of people, like I remember, it's like, okay, it's like sci-fi a little bit, but it's like, imagine like being the suspect in a murder case because someone like deep faked this footage of you,
right?
Like walking, and all of a sudden it's like, now you have to prove that this isn't
That's
real.
not
Like,
real. It was altered and all this
that's
stuff.
crazy, bro. Like,
That's where we're headed, man.
That's
it's
insane. Like, but I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were talking about, I forget the name of it. It's not like Neuralink or whatever, but it's this thing where they said we're not far away from like being able to detect like the brain waves of like what someone's thinking, basically. So essentially, like,
that's scary,
right? So that like you could be able to like hear someone's thoughts if you
now
like,
you can't. Now that'll change how you even behave. Because if you know people are knowing what you're thinking,
you're gonna try to change what
that's
you're
too much, right? That's too much.
Well, the way they were saying, it's not like, I'm sure eventually like it would get to a point where you could just like walk by and like Mel Gibson and What Women Want, just hearing all these voices.
Right.
But I was seeing it that them more saying is like, say if you needed to, like, in an interrogation room, for instance, instead of like sitting there and asking a sociopath over and over, it's like they're just gonna
already know what he's thinking, right? Yeah.
But just be like, oh, okay, let's hear his brain waves, and he's sitting there thinking, oh shit, like, I hope I don't get caught. I did it. Like, that's great.
Then you'll have people
Black
tricking it,
Mirror
like
shit,
he
bro.
did do it, but he's convinced himself he hasn't. So now he's projecting that, Oh, he's innocent, but he really did it. He tricked us.
I'm pretty sure it's literally like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
The lady's job, she has to like go there and she plugs people in and sees parts of their memories and stuff, and the lady trying to hide the fact that she saw this like murder or whatever. That's crazy.
Wild.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's scary, man. I mean,
I'm almost happy I grew up when I did, and I'll probably be gone when all the super crazy shit's
right.
Right.
I agree.
Like growing up pre-internet, like I guess the internet was like starting, but not like it is now, and pre-cell phone it, and like
AOL came out when I was 13.
When you were 13, I was
12 or something.
I was 18 when it came out.
No, really?
Yeah. Well, AOL, well, okay. So I was Windows 95.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I graduated in 95.
That makes sense. Okay.
So that's when like Windows 95 came out, and that was kind of like, all right, we got computers and the internet.
Yeah,
I didn't really have internet until college, like my first freshman year. Like as far as AOL and the downloading it, and it would take 20 minutes just for like a one pixel, right, to pop up. Right? The chat rooms. I don't know if you remember those chat rooms back in the day, like the first chat rooms.
Yep, that's all it really was chat rooms,
just chat rooms,
pictures.
Yeah, it was wild, man.
It was.
I remember there were classes in my college where it would literally just be how to learn how to use Windows, right? Like that. Yeah. There was a whole computer class, and we would just learn how to operate Windows, Word, Windows Excel.
Yeah,
all that nonsense.
I remember Mavis Beacon in like 6th grade. It's like taught you how to type and stuff. It's like a whole program. It's like put your fingers on these numbers. Remember Mavis Beacon, and it like timed how many words per minute you could type and stuff.
Yep.
Oh my god,
that was.
I'll never forget that shit.
That's wild. And now kids today, they're born able to fucking type a book in 30 seconds.
You can just say it now. Like talk to text is crazy now. Like I never use it, and I seen Ponce. Ponce is always using it, right? And I'm like, is that how you always text me? And she's like, yeah, because there's never a mistake. I'm always texting. There's errors, whatever. And she's like, all her texts are voice, and I started doing it because I remember when I did it like a few years back, it wasn't the greatest, but now it's perfect. And it's just wild.
It still fucks up a lot of my shit.
Yeah,
that's
social, when
Yeah,
social
it's
text
the way
me,
you
I
talk,
can,
right?
I can tell
Yeah.
when he's using voice to text. Because,
Really?
no, it's
I
funny.
use it when I can't remember how to spell something real quick. And I'm having a problem. I'll just say it real
That's
quick.
how I came up with the bar about D Money when I said, "Oh, demony," like calling him a demon. That's how I
Yeah.
came up with that because social was sent me a voice to text thing, and instead of D Money, it said
came up
D
demon?
Money, and I was like, "Whoa, what? How come I never noticed that before?" So then I literally started like saying, "I was like, oh, demony." I was like, "Yeah, I got to use the bar with that." Like,
That's crazy.
that's literally how I thought of that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, technology's crazy, man. It's come a long way since we.
It has, and it's just gonna. It's gonna keep. It's gonna speed at a faster rate as the longer we go. You know?
Like, bro, we saw CD players like come out. Like, when
dude, I spent probably my entire. I spent probably 80% of the money I made on blank CDs. That's all I would. I would just buy blank CDs and make burn. That's all I ever did, bro.
Players too, like
you get the
all
fucking
that shit.
800 pack of those.
Yeah, remember I used to go to Best Buy, whatever they had. Remember?
Yeah,
right?
You could either get the ones that came in like a CD case, they're different colors, or you could just get the fat stack of ones that have like.
Yeah, I would just get the stack.
Yeah, the one with the thing all the way up the middle, and they were just sitting on top of each other.
Those are scratch easy though, because they had no case. But
and then you'd ask someone for one, and they'd be like, "Nah, bro, I need them." It's like, yo, you like, nah, I need them.
I need all 800 of the, yeah, and then we had. I was just looking through. I had all these like old like binders full of those CD holders, CD
holders, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was going.
I still got quite a few in my basement. But I think I got rid of most of them.
I got a lot too.
That's what it was. I was going through my basement trying to clean shit up, and I was like, "What is?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I know there's gonna be a bunch of these VHSs and fucking blank CDs."
Yeah, and I used to buy these DVDs like of like series and shit. Like I had The Sopranos on DVD, and I a few years ago I threw it in. I was like, oh, it's DVD, it's digital, whatever. You throw it in, it's like 480p. It's fucking terrible.
It's not even good.
Yeah. It's like, what is even the point? If it wasn't like Blu-ray, it was fucking trash.
Yeah.
Is The Sopranos really that good though?
You never seen it?
I seen it once, like probably over 10 years ago.
The whole thing?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You guys want to have a conversation about The Sopranos?
So you've seen it? You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering, like, your opinion on it.
I really
good. Like,
yeah, you know what it is. There's just certain series that I really get attached to. That I just like to rewatch, and I understand if like there's a lot of people that have other series that I don't even like watching at all. But there's certain series where I can just rewatch a lot. Like Sopranos is one of them. Curb, and I like, and then Entourage too. I can watch that over and over again.
I like that.
But is it that good? I mean, to me, it is. I just really like the characters and the storylines. But
Now, did you watch it when it was on?
Oh yeah. Well, I started watching season 3. I want to say I caught on at season 3.
Because I watched it like years and years later, and I was like,
okay, so you never watched it when it was on.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know
what problem too
is that, but I think if I watched it when it came
out, that Sunday, it was Sunday. It was a huge day, right? And then so we would all wait for Sunday, and you, especially not knowing what's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying?
The opening, the Under the Tunnel, the song.
Yeah,
I get it. Like,
it was hype.
I wasn't like, oh, this is trash. Like I watched it. I felt like I was watching it with my mom, and I'm like, I feel like she was kind of into more parts than I was. I'm like,
yeah,
it's not like bad. It's good.
No, it's not bad. I just felt like there was there was a lot of like dragginess of it to me.
Yeah, I mean, like season 6 was really like whack and like the dreams sequences and all that nonsense. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, no, I still always enjoyed it going back. But
yeah, maybe I gotta rewatch it again, and maybe it's more that, like you said, because I wasn't watching it while it was on. It was just like years later, after a bunch of other stuff had come out since, like to me, like The Wire was like one of the best shows I'd ever seen.
You know what's funny about The Wire? I never watched it, and my chat was trying to get me to watch it. Watch The Wire, watch The Wire. So like 2 years ago, we decided to watch it, me and Ponce, and I don't. It just didn't like for Sopranos. It just didn't do nothing for me. Like I couldn't get into it, and I never finished it. I think I stopped at season 3. I don't know how many seasons.
Season 3.
I
can see that. I tried to show someone else. I think one of my brothers even was like, I don't know. But then my other brother was like, yo, this is the best show. It's definitely
most people say it's the greatest show ever.
So a lot of people
sure it's great,
that.
Right?
But I
right, it's an acquired taste. So no, I guess the way you feel about The Wire, I guess that's the
Sopranos,
way.
The same way. Yeah.
So I get,
I like The Wire, but when people say it's the best show they've ever seen, and then they say they've seen Breaking Bad, they said they've seen all these other great shows, and I'm thinking that's crazy to me.
Did you like Breaking Bad, Pablo?
Oh yeah, I love Breaking Bad.
Okay.
I think the main difference. So I was actually talking to Caesar about this recently. I think the main thing that makes Breaking Bad so amazing is it's like the character. It's more like it's like a story about him, right? And it's like more of like a micro like story. It's like this guy and all the stuff that he, of course, you have Jesse and there's like side characters, right? But it's mainly the story of this guy's like pride, basically. Him not being able to accept like, no, fuck, he could have just took his old business partner's money, and he, it was like, but basically it was like his brother-in-law's being a dick to him, his own wife on his own birthday is just like, oh, here, like there's just like you got no respect. So it's basically like this dude's pride turned him into what he was. Now I'd say the difference between that and like The Wire, why people say The Wire is like a better show, I'm not saying it's like better, but the reason they say it's like such a great show is because on a bigger scale, it's not just so much about like, oh, this guy's story or this
more
thing.
people involved.
They get it gets into like not only the drug dealers, the cops, and then you have the politics, not just with the drug dealers, like, oh, the young kids trying to come up. You have the politics and the cops, people trying to like, colonels trying to become majors or whatever. So it shows all the politics, the stuff that happens there.
Yeah, and everyone from there says that's what it's like there.
That's how it right. Really, and the more it goes on, eventually season 2 is a little like meh, but then eventually it gets into like the school. It shows the teachers, like they're trying to do the right thing, but their budget's fucked up. It shows how young kids coming into the school, like some of them kind of like, oh, their dads are drug dealers or they're locked up, so they're kind of like already on the wrong path. Then there's like, young kids that are like on the right path, but then they're just the environment they're around. They hang out with a certain crew, and then it gets to like the mayor. This guy is like, I want to change things around here. He wants to run for mayor, but then in order to get to be mayor, he has to make all these promises with people, take money from people. Then once he finally gets to office, his like hair's gray, and you're like, oh, remember all those promises you made about the school budget? And like, well, you can't do that. You owe this guy this favor, remember? And he doesn't want you to do that. So it's like just on a grander scale of like realistically like issues that actually happen in the real world. Yeah. I feel like that is my long-winded explanation for why more people say that's like it's such a great show, because the way it's like it's putting up a mirror to like, oh, this is real shit that happens, as opposed to like just the great writing and character analysis of a Breaking Bad.
I think what
I love The Wire has you.
Binge watching it maybe made me not like it as much, because I felt like I don't know. I just there is something to be said about watching something in real time and then binge watching it. Like maybe it would have been a good show if I did watch it when it came out. I think with Breaking Bad, it was just a perfect combination of acting, writing, and the way they shot it too.
The cinematography
and chemistry.
It was like all perfect.
Like chemistry between Jesse and Walt.
Well, and the pacing too, because my girlfriend had never seen it. I watched it again like within the last year. I watched it again with her, And literally, we're like
Holds up.
not even to the end of season 1. I'm like, this already happens. I'm
I
like,
know.
season 2. I'm like, this
know.
happens already. I'm like, I felt like this was like way later. But then
Yeah.
you remember, I'm like, that's what is great about a show when you don't do 12 unnecessary seasons and just keep going it and beating a dead horse. Now you're reaching.
Yeah,
for
they ended
things
it
to write
perfectly,
about.
I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Alright.
Perfectly. The entire show was
They
perfect.
even streamlined that last season where you see like they went through a lot of the time span because
Mhm.
I think that the whole point was, you know, not to just draw out a bunch of episodes. So they just, you know, they fast forwarded. You can see that in the season 5. I can't remember where they did it actually, but I think season 5 was broke up into 2 halves, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah. Did you guys get into Better Call Saul?
The first
Yeah,
half.
I just finished watching Better Call. I only saw like 2 seasons before, I think, but I had just went back and watched the whole thing, and
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the show.
I loved it too.
The
Yeah, I liked it
ending,
too.
I was a little like, but now, like thinking back on, it, I'm like, I guess it's a good way to end that show specifically. But I
You
was
know,
like,
I
a little
like El
aggravated,
Camino,
like, bro,
too.
what the fuck? Like,
I don't care what people are talking about. I liked El Camino a lot.
I hated El Camino.
I watched. I'm gonna tell you something. At the end of, actually, I can't say it because on stream because
What, spoiler alert?
no, it's just never mind. It's personal. It's personal
Okay,
information
okay.
that could be given away. But that movie is just, to me, like, bro, I've watched it like 3 times. I love it.
Maybe I was in a bad mood when I watched it. I don't know. That could always be.
Oh no,
like
because you're not
that,
the only one. Pablo
Robert
didn't like
Forster's in it. The vacuum guy, Robert Forster. I like that he's in it. I like the Todd, the return of Todd, which he's like 30 more pounds overweight. He's like way fatter. all of a
But
sudden.
he's amazing in that movie, and the scenes he has in that movie are amazing.
Oh yeah, Jesse Plemons is fire, bro. Like, so I'm saying those are the things I like about the movie. There is like a kind of a westerny feel to it, especially like the way he has like the almost like a showdown, like a high noon showdown with that dude and stuff at the end. Like, there's parts that I'm like I liked, but I definitely feel like there was definitely like filler in there that felt like, okay, they were just kind of throwing shit together, be like, oh, let's we're making it a movie, or like, I don't know. I feel like
did you ever see the Sopranos movie?
No, I haven't.
The worst piece of shit I ever seen in my life.
Shit.
Bro. So it was like a prequel. And Tony's not even in it. Well, he is.
Many Saints of Newark or whatever.
Saints of trash. It was
It
garbage.
was so trash.
Not even about Tony's not being in it. It's just a terrible movie.
It was terrible. The acting
was terrible.
Dialogue.
Yeah, it's just so sad that they even that's what they put out. I mean, I get it. Tony's dead and they can't do anything with him, but there could have been a story there.
It was on my TV for free. And I watched the trailer and was like, I was like, this just looks awful. So I didn't.
The Entourage movie was better than that movie.
Yo, that's another show. Like, I
love Entourage, man. I don't know.
Me too.
I probably watched that as much as Curb. Not now, but
I watched it a lot too.
I watched it like so when I'd be sitting there and it would come on, I wouldn't change the channel. I'd watch it pretty much every time, but I would never go out of my way to put it on. And
Did you ever watch it through?
What is it?
You ever watch it through, like from season
all the way through? No, definitely.
You have to, bro, because the story connects.
It's all connecting. Yeah, episode watching that.
Every time it would come on, I would just be like throwing my hands up, like, these fucking clowns. I'm like, oh, this turtle drama.
Yo, I'm gonna
like
tell
getting
you
aggravated for real.
I don't even like most of the characters in the show, but Ari is awesome, and
Ari's great. Yeah.
Look, like there's a couple of people in the show who are really funny.
That's Jeremy Piven's character, right?
Yeah, and and like social it is a very like all the story, like the stories are all connected, and they all it's not so watching them just show by show, it could be like maybe this is like, I don't know
exactly.
Yeah, it was very staggered. I would see
all callbacks. There's always references to everything and that's happening.
each season has a theme, and the whole show from beginning to
has
end
an overall theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even like the last season with when he was all coked up. I know a lot of people didn't like that episode, that season, but I liked it a lot.
Me too, because that's what ends up happening. Like it literally shows him go from like being. Well, I won't ruin it for Pablo, but yeah, like it's like the perfect, like this is what happens to you when you go to Hollywood type shit.
I mean, you're not the only. I've heard. I'd say like 85% of people and I wouldn't even ask them about. No one's even talking about. They're just like Entourage. So I'm like, really? I'm like, Entourage. I'm like, I guess I got to check this out. Like, people are fucking in love with that show. So I'm like, I gotta check it out.
It's one of those shows that in the time I remember because like I watched that live. I watched that thing live probably starting in the middle of season 1. I caught it. Yeah, and I watched it live from then, and it's again the theme song when that pops every week.
It's Jane's Addiction,
yeah, that fucking fire, man.
Yeah.
Another show I really loved that I got addicted to was Dexter. Did you guys ever get into that?
Oh,
I just rewatched it.
Well, that's one of my favorite shows too. And there's a lot of content.
We're about to do an episode on it, so I don't want to say too
episode
much
on Dexter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting for him to fucking finish it because.
So you're a fan?
I finished it 2 weeks. I finished it 2 weeks ago, but we haven't done it because we've been doing the Halloween episode.
I know, but I'm saying for the last like 3 months, I've been like, yo, we need to do an episode on Dexter.
I caught Dexter season.
Well,
2.
how long you want me to finish 8 seasons?
All right, hold on. We're talking about it.
Come on.
Fun. So
did you like the new last season?
What is it? New Blood or whatever.
New Blood.
I did like that.
I loved it. I don't know, man.
I like a lot of people are hating on it. I thought it was fire.
Better than how it ended.
Oh, definitely.
That was
definitely
crap.
a better ending,
right?
You know they're coming out with a new one.
No, I didn't know. What do you mean? A new what?
A new Dexter.
Two new Dexter.
There's one
One's
that's one as a prequel. That's him as a younger kid.
Get the fuck out of here.
And but he plays, but he like narrates, so he's
so he's narrating it.
His
and
voice,
like his young version, a different actor obviously is there.
Right. But after they announced that, they just announced that they're doing like a sequel. Where guess what? What you thought happened at the end of New Blood maybe didn't happen.
Oh, come on, man.
So I
wouldn't mind if they, left it like he comes. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even mind that. Just because I don't know, man.
Crazy.
That was one of my favorite shows ever.
Mm-hmm. That's when I caught while it was happening. I think the first it was during the first season I started watching it, and
so you caught it live, yeah.
And then week by week watched it, and then like the 4th season, the way that I was like, oh my god, I was hooked on that show.
The only season it got silly in was maybe the last 8. I didn't mind 7. I think 8 got a little just convoluted a little bit.
Yeah, because they were trying to do too much and wrap it up at the same time.
Right. Yeah. It was just but
I have a lot to say about that show, so that episode's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we're only doing the original series, right?
Yes.
Because there's 8 seasons we're gonna talk about.
But then you're not gonna hit the New Blood.
We should.
We will.
Did you watch New Blood Social?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're all caught up. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm all caught up.
I did like the ideas that they had.
I was caught up with Dexter, but I had to rewatch it because I hadn't watched it since it aired. So
I've given that about a good 4 or 5 watches myself full.
Yeah, I've watched it. That's another one. My girl had never seen it. I'm like, you never seen Dexter? I'm like, we're gonna watch. We finished the whole thing, and then we went to watch New Blood because she's like, oh, it continues. And then I'm like trying to find which subscription it's on, Hulu or
Showtime, isn't it?
Looking around, I'm like, oh, I put it on, and then it's like, oh, the first episode's free, but now you got to pay. I'm like, I just watched this like 3 months ago. What fucking service was it on, or what was that? So
I think I'm gonna do a rewatch, man. That's my new rewatch.
Yeah, I want to finish, especially after seeing the first episode again. I was like, yo, I want to rewatch this, like the New Blood again. That shit was fire, especially now knowing that once I heard the prequel and I
didn't hear about that. I gotta look that up.
They already started announcing cast members. Like Christian Slater plays the dad.
What? No way.
Yeah,
I like
Harry.
Christian Slater.
He plays Harry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he plays Harry. Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I was
can
like,
see that.
bro,
I can
what?
see that totally.
Yep.
So
Oh, that's gonna be
I'm
crazy.
excited, man. That's actually what we were talking about behind the scenes, like. And it's funny because I mentioned probably doing a Dexter episode before that news even came out, and then when it did, we were like, oh yeah, we definitely got to do a Dexter episode now that these new shows are coming out and shit too.
Damn. I'm excited now.
Yep. Unfortunately, there'll be no more Curb seasons.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, bro. I didn't even realize it's been 20 years running.
Yeah, that's
a little crazy.
20 years is crazy.
Yeah. Well, 24.
23 years. It was
because it started in 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah. The show, the hour special came out.
The hour special.
2000.
Yeah, and then the first
season was 2001. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked going back, especially like that first the hour special, and then like a few of the first episodes. It has a different like
Sammy was supposed to be a boy. Yeah, it has a whole different feel. Like there's different things too. Like Sammy, Jeff and Susie's daughter was supposed to be a boy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And in one of the episodes, they even say like,
refer to it
like oh look at Sammy, he has his arm over so and so while they're napping or whatever, and a bunch of stuff. And like HBO wanted like Cheryl to hate Jeff, so that's why. So he like she hated him through the thing,
but Larry said no.
Through the hour series, but Larry said no because then the show
corny.
won't work.
It's gonna be corny. Yeah,
it's
always this thing with them two. They hate each other.
Yeah,
it needs to be I think that was a better route to go. They already had that dynamic with him and Susie. So
right. Oh my god,
it's repeating. It'll just be a repeat. So
Yeah.
Just a wonderful one of the best shows ever. I mean, I don't know.
It's my personal favorite show ever. Like,
that to me, I don't think I'll ever get sick of rewatching it.
No.
When I did watch the first 4 seasons to the ground, right? Like to a point where it's like maybe I don't even want to watch it anymore.
Right. Like the 4th season I had on DVD, I've watched that so many times. The blind guy playing the piano with the sweater, Ben Stiller's birthday and shit. Like
that was great.
David Schwimmer. Like I've seen that season so many times.
It was the play. Yeah, me too. Season 3.
Yo, you need to talk to your dad about putting more peanuts in the ratio.
3 might have been my favorite. Is that the one at the restaurant or
no? That's season 3.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Season 3, is that the one at the restaurant?
Yeah, season 3.
That was one of my favorite seasons, I think.
Yeah, I love that season. I love that season.
I might
even like the later seasons.
Season 2 is great too, but
the later seasons, which I still think are great too. I haven't rewatched them as much as the first 4 or 5, so I gotta.
I've rewatched a lot of the later seasons, man. They're amazing because anything from Leon, like from season 6.
Oh yeah, Meet the Blacks, and then
oh my god, it's so good.
But especially I was watching I think it was season 10. Yeah, I was watching season 10, and in the first episode, it's fucking hilarious. And I remember how hard I laughed the first time I watched it. He's walking with Leon, talking about the color of their skin, and he's asking Leon, he's like, "You happy with your skin tone?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm like a yoo-hoo, you know." And he's like, "Yeah, yoo-hoo's." Larry's like, "Yeah, yoo-hoo's a good color." He's like, "You happy with yours?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Whatever." And they're just talking. And then they walk by, and there's this guy holding a selfie stick trying to take a selfie of him and his girlfriend. And Larry grabs it, snaps it over his knee,
gives it back to him. Right?
Gives it back to him and says, "You're welcome," and then continues the conversation.
That's crazy. Were you satisfied the way they wrapped it up?
I absolutely 100%.
I love the callback to the Seinfeld finale.
Yeah,
because that was crap. I think
I like the Seinfeld finale.
Did you watch it live?
No.
I
didn't
watched it live. You
watch
got to
Seinfeld.
understand
No, I watched it live. Yeah, I
the
did not.
hype around this episode was so insane. Like I don't even think you
Mhm.
can even like explain it.
Because
Right?
Larry
It was
left and then came back
insane.
for the finale, right?
Yeah, when
So-
before it came on, because I was watching Seinfeld live. I caught Seinfeld live around season 4, so I watched
Okay.
good 4 to 9. It's 4 to 9 live, like every Thursday or whenever it was. And that hype for that finale was so crazy, and then it was just like, all right, they go to jail, and all right, I don't know. It was just so.
I think people would have been let down no matter what, just because
I wanted a classic.
It's a half-hour sitcom. How do you end that?
Yeah,
you know?
well, yeah, but I just wanted to have. What I thought they were gonna do. I just thought they were just gonna make it because the great thing about the first few seasons of Seinfeld was the simplicity, and it wasn't too complicated with the stories, and they never really went there. It was just more about the shit they were saying, right? The
Mhm.
conversations they were having, they were funny. So I was hoping because they brought Larry David back because he was missing the last few seasons. He wasn't there no more.
He
Mhm.
wasn't there for the last 2.
Yeah, and you can tell it got a little more cornier and goofier a little bit. They were more slapsticky a little bit. So I thought maybe they were gonna just finish it off with just a classic episode from maybe season 3 type of deal where it was just like, just a classic episode. But they went full out fucking. There's a trial and because of this stupid reason that I don't even remember why they went to jail.
Yeah.
And,
The Good Samaritan
the
law.
Good Samaritan law.
Yeah.
Because Kramer was in there filming the fat guy, and they were like roasting him.
They
like,
didn't
"Oh,
do
look at
nothing
him."
about it, yeah. And I understand that because they're supposed
But
to be bad
what I
people.
didn't like is that most of the episode is just like callback. It's like, okay, I got a callback, but then they would do flashbacks too. It's like,
Flashbacks,
bro,
callbacks,
You
and all
can't
that
just do callback, flashback,
Yeah.
callback, flashback. All right,
It was
bro.
too
Like
much.
half of the episode is just reminding us what happened in other
How
episodes.
the season was, and I was like,
That
oh, this
was
is not what I
Larry's
wanted.
way of saying I'm done with this shit.
Sure, yeah, but I loved how he wrapped it up. I was literally clapping at the end of the Curb finale. I was like, this is fucking.
Me
Facts.
too.
I stood
Even-
up. I gave it a fucking.
I didn't know that's where they were headed either. I didn't.
Yo, I don't know if you know this, but like even when he's in and I said it after the first episode, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna end it like the end of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. I didn't catch nothing like
Yeah,
And-
so
no,
was
I
texting me.
caught
I
it.
think I know where they're going with
that. Oh
it.
shit.
And then in the cell, I don't know if you noticed this, but in the cell, when he references the pants tent from the first episode, that's a callback from Seinfeld because when they're in the cell, George mentioned something about the button on his
The
sweater,
third button, or he's like, "How come this one's always in no man's land?"
which is
referencing the first episode.
Right.
Yep, I know all that shit. Yep.
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
So that was a brilliant way to end it. But like he's saying, the original Seinfeld ending, I get what you're saying. It probably would have just fell flat anyway. But the hype was crazy at the time because even like 9 o'clock news, 7 o'clock news stations.
Yeah.
We're talking about Seinfeld ending tonight, ending.
People that
this
didn't even
week,
watch the
like,
show are talking about it.
That's what I'm
Right?
saying.
Like,
It was
it was
insane. Like
insane.
newspapers, news
I've
shows.
never seen
were
anything like it.
talking- They were cutting in between talking about like a robbery that happened, a stolen car, and also Seinfeld ending. Like,
Right.
what? Like that's how big this was at the time. So it was.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of like, "What? Like that's how you're gonna end it?" Like,
I really enjoyed the reunion season 2 with Seinfeld and Curb.
oh yeah, yeah.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Season 7.
Bringing
I
Kramer back and making fun of him in that situation.
loved it.
Yeah,
Loved it.
you got Leon there. That was great.
Yeah, Leon pretending to have Groat's disease and shit.
Yeah.
And pretending to be Jewish and stuff. That shit was hilarious.
Oh,
He's like,
right.
yeah, I've been bar mitzvahed twice. And he's like, what? I thought you get bar mitzvahed once when you were 13. He's like, no, it's once every 13 years.
Have you ever listened to the
podcast.
the Jeff and Susie podcast?
By the way,
No,
Jeff
no.
gets pretty annoying, but yeah.
Uh,
He's always like, by the way, Susie will start to say something. He's like,
by the way, yeah.
But
No, when I was driving to Florida recently, on my last trip to Florida, I was listening to that the whole way there just to get through the drive. Because it's I thought it was pretty cool, but just to hear the story. I think they had Larry on one of the episodes too.
They
if I'm
did.
not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had him on. They had him on one. They had Richard Lewis on one too before he died.
Oh yeah. He did. He looked bad, man. Like towards the end, even in the season, I can tell he looked something going on here with him.
Yeah,
that was wild. Yeah, he ended up dying right before it ended, right? Or aired.
yeah,
So,
right before it aired. Yeah,
that was crazy.
Didn't even get to watch his final work.
Did you ever see the Family Guy curb bit that they did? It's mad quick, but oh my god, it's great. It's
I don't think so.
Hold on, do you want me to pull it up or no?
Pull it up. Pull it up.
It's like 20 seconds. You gotta see this. It's fucking hilarious, man.
Pull it up.
It's so on point because it's basically. I'll just play it. Hold on. Yeah, you gotta see.
This episode has been so random about so many different.
Yeah, it's fire though. That's why it's unscripted logic.
Yeah,
man. Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
All right, pull that up for me right there.
All right.
All right, let's roll it. Let me tell me if it's too loud.
We now return to Curb Your Enthusiasm, where Jeff Garland just repeats everything Larry says.
So, I put on the shirt.
You put on the shirt!
I paid for it.
You paid for it!
I'm starting to think you're the weakest link in the cast.
Easily the weakest link!
Easily the weakest link.
You know, it's crazy. They could run an animated series, moving like
Oh,
that wouldn't even
shit.
That wouldn't even
like
be the
Trailer
worst.
Park Boys did. That would be dope. That would be.
I could
dope.
see that, and they just voice it.
Yeah, at that point, like watching that, I was just like, yeah, bro, they should just do fucking.
DME, how would you feel about a Jeff and Susie spinoff?
A Jeff with no Larry?
Well, maybe with like the occasional Larry.
No, that sounds like a Cleveland show situation, which is
It
you
depends.
need.
Can they
That
carry
only
it?
works like Susie would work if as a side character.
Would we get sick of Susie after
I
a while?
know.
I would get sick of Jeff if he's the main character. Like them two can't be the mains; those are
You need
clearly
the
side
Larry.
characters.
I get it. You need the Larry.
Yeah,
I'm the Larry.
Or not even like a Larry, like a Leon could even be more of a main.
Like none of the I was gonna say none of the Seinfeld spinoffs were. I guess Elaine had a successful run. I never watched the show. She had a little spinoff.
Deep.
What was it called?
A spinoff of Seinfeld.
Yeah, Elaine's character. She had something. She wasn't Elaine, I guess, but
she had a show
like
called
Adventures of New Christine or something.
Yeah,
she had a couple shows at one point that I never really watched any of them. But
yeah, me neither.
Jason Alexander kind of did like a couple movies and that was it. Like he was in
Shallow
Hell and shit, right?
Who, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's actually a really good actor, but I think he got really this George role.
Yeah,
even in that, it talks about it in the episode.
Right. George season. I can't get away from it.
That was a good season. That was a good season.
I love when he goes to. He's like, "Hey, aren't you Elaine?" She's like, "This sounds more like a Jason Alexander type thing." He's like, "No,
no,
you no."
Like I see you for this.
Yeah.
George was an idiot, right? He's like, "What do you mean?" I was an idiot.
Yeah, right. Eating eclairs out of the garbage. I ate an eclair out of the garbage can.
You know, I was in that masturbation contest.
Right.
Yep.
He's stealing his girlfriend's answering machine too. He's like, I stole that.
I did that. Yeah.
I stole that. He's a putz. He's a. Oh my god.
So social, you didn't watch Seinfeld live, huh? Like you caught that way later.
So I had like seen episodes and I was like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, it's cool, but like it's not. I just didn't think it was that great. And then so I didn't watch Curb either until season 7.
So, wow, I didn't know that.
So
that's crazy.
So people were trying to tell me to watch Curb, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man, whatever. Like
it's a hard watch to get people who are not into it. I couldn't get no one into it almost. Like it was weird.
Yeah, so check this out.
They already knew about it.
The first episode that I watched was the Black Swan episode.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a great
wow.
episode.
because that was the episode that was the most recent. Now,
Yeah.
it's a great episode, but it's not a great episode to watch for the
To
first
be
time.
introduced.
Right.
Gotcha.
I don't know. The Black Swan.
But
It's a good episode. Yeah. I mean,
I'm talking
just kind of
from
put it
experience.
myself there where I've never seen this before.
I'm talking from experience. Never
Yeah.
seen the show. That was the one I watched. I was
Yeah.
like, I laughed. It was funny, but I don't know the characters.
You don't know the references and
But even then, just this, Swan Killers League. People
Yes,
who don't kill
like,
swans.
again.
Hey, like that's fucking hilarious. And the way he's slamming his hand down on the table with the knife, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, it was funny. I was laughing, but it wasn't a great. But it was good enough to make me watch another episode. So I put it back to the first episode of that season, and I think the Swan episode was like episode 5 of that season. So I watched.
So you watched season 5 first, or whatever, 7 first.
Season 7. So I watched those episodes, and
wow.
I was hooked, and then went back to season 1 and just started watching it all the way through. And then
and when he said people told him to watch it, he means me.
You.
So
did you go back? Then you went back and watched Seinfeld?
It actually wasn't you first.
But who do you? Yeah, it was either me or one of my brothers that were watching it. Like I said, I had season 4 DVD. Like
it wasn't one of you guys first.
Okay, but
because I wasn't.
Did you go back and watch?
I wasn't even there when I was first introduced to it. You know what I mean?
So did you go back and watch Seinfeld after that?
So then I'm like, everyone's telling me, "Oh, you'll love Seinfeld if you like Curb."
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
He's the only one buying it. But did you know that Larry David was the writer? I
did. Okay. But what to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, but there's no Larry David in Seinfeld, so whatever. So he could write it, but the actors can't be him. So, but eventually I did watch it all the way through, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But what was the lineup when Seinfeld was on? Like you said, it was like Thursday or something.
Mad About You.
Right. There was a pretty good lineup at the time, though. Like, there was a couple shows in a row.
It would be Seinfeld, Mad About You, and then I don't know, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I can't remember now, but I remember watching it like each week and shit. And I don't know, Social's just like that. Like if he's not already into something,
it's hard to get him into it.
We tried to tell him about Prof, the artist, and he's like, what? He wouldn't listen for so fucking long. We're like, bro, you got to check out this dude's music. You love it, and he's like, nah.
But hold on, but you know what? They say that, but when I recommend stuff, they don't check it out either. So.
That's not true.
I'm kind of like that too.
What did you tell me to check out recently? And what did I text you back and say, hey, I watched, I was actually fire?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
One of the only things you told me to go watch. I went and watched it and texted you about it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that comedy special. Because the thing is, I've seen pretty much the same shit as you, and I know all the things you're talking about. So it's very rare that you have something to like tell me about that I haven't already heard of or seen or something. And when you do, I go check it out.
Pressured into watching or listening to something.
Pressured?
Yeah, I don't want to be bullied into it.
Well, you can't be bullied into it if someone suggests it and you just go meh.
Look,
and then maybe I'll get into
it. And you just keep blowing it off. Pablo. Eventually, they have to fucking be like, "Hey, Social,
Pablo,
grab you by the collar and be like, motherfucker, Curb is the best show ever. Go fucking watch it."
Pablo,
you know what I mean? Like
you weren't the one, but
okay,
Pablo. When you guys told me about Prof, I saw the picture on the album cover of him looking like Napoleon Dynamite's brother, and I was turned off by it. But I still went to the concert, and it was absolute fire.
Mhm.
Became a fan. Gave him his props.
I get it though. I'm quick to like brush something. It like all it takes is like one thing for me, like, and I'm like, like. But I feel like my shit's usually justified though. Like,
But tell me he doesn't look like Napoleon Dynamite's brother on that album.
But you can tell it's like tongue in cheek though, just by looking at it. Like it doesn't look like this dude's serious and he's trying to like look hard and shit.
It
like,
did look serious.
Absurd.
It did look
Oh,
serious.
maybe to you. I don't know.
Pull up.
To
pull
me,
up
I
the
always
album
feel like
cover.
if I like the reason I like disregarded like Hobson pretty much right off rip, I was like, all right, this dude, I don't think he's for me. Like
Yeah,
right
so
off
don't-
rip.
So don't cast on
Like Logic, I was immediately like, like, and I listened to like his entire album. So I'm not
So
saying I
don't
just wrote the
cast
dude
on-
off right away, but I'm saying my initial instinct usually turns out to be how I end up feeling anyway. You know, so I get it, the initial write off, but it's like when you know someone's like has good opinions and taste, and they keep telling you about something, no, at least check it out. Like Jesus.
Yeah, but all right. Let me tell you about Curb. So somebody told
Let me
about
tell you about Curve, the show that
No,
I
no,
started
no,
watching
no.
after you. Okay, no.
No, because I'm gonna make a good point right now.
Okay.
So I was told about Curb in like 2003, and I wasn't around you guys at that time. Then when I started kicking it with you guys again, I heard about Curb. You guys told me about Curb, and that's when I watched it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's crazy. You know
So
who?
I did take your advice and watch
Okay,
it.
so that's your great point. Okay, anyway, so you know who told me about Curb in probably like 2001 or 2 is Medeiros. Was like, yo, this show, you gotta watch this show. He's like, it's like Seinfeld, only they say cunt and shit. That was his sell on this show.
Oh,
and I was like, word?
That makes sense.
He's like, yeah, this old man. He's like, it's on HBO. They can switch. I was like, okay, like, word. I had never even heard of it. I was like, Curb, you're what? Like,
yeah, I was watching Curb one day, and my cousin was over, and he I think did Curb used to come on after Sopranos, I think, or I think so. I think it would be Sopranos and then Curb. I think that was the lineup on Sunday for at least maybe one of the seasons.
Sopranos would come on at 9 and Curb came on
at 10. Yeah, so we would watch Sopranos, because everyone was into that. So then I would be the only one who would want to watch Curb. So Curb was on. I'm watching. And he was like, "You watched that show with that homeless bum?" That's how he perceived it. He never watched it. He just like, that's that homeless bum, right? I'm like, why is he a homeless bum? Oh, he just seems that's what he's just walking around. He's bald. He looks like he's homeless. Like, nah, bro.
My ex is like, oh, that fucking guy.
old
All he does is walk around and get into arguments with people. He's such an asshole. Like, I was like, don't you understand
now,
that?
if somebody had said that to me, I would have been like, oh, so he's like me. All right, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But
it's just funny people's perceptions when you don't know.
Right. Yeah, you never know. Like someone recently, I'm not gonna say who it was, but you'll probably be able to get it. But someone recently, we were telling them, oh, watch Curb, and they texted me while they were like watching the first episode, maybe, and they're like, yo, is every episode like this? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. He's like, all these people are dirtbags. He's like, Larry's his wife's parents are trying to pressure him into this. Like, they suck and fucking. He's like, I'm just getting mad about watching it and shit. I was like, well, I mean,
that was how Seinfeld was. Everyone was not the greatest person.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. I'm like, well, you like Seinfeld. I'm like, I mean, every episode is a little like that. It's very like, confrontational, I guess. So like. I was just like, that's such a weird way to put it. Like, fucking people are dirtbags.
They're all dirtbags.
Yep, they're all dirtbags. But no, they're not. They're not. Like, I honestly thought it was just about an old angry guy like that. But he is, but he is, but he isn't. Like, he's not a like mean guy. He's a nice guy. But if you piss him off, then
No, he just calls out the bullshit, like for real.
Yeah, he calls out the bullshit.
Yeah, it's more like this show is more like he even said this before. I was watching some of the interviews after it ended, and it's like he just says the things that you shouldn't say. You just think, but in the show he says them.
Socially,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, out loud, right? Everyone's thinking this shit, but
yeah, and in real life he's not doing that. He's not saying that. He's not confronting this person about that. He won't think. He thinks he's thinking it. But you're polite in real life.
see, I'm the opposite. Like
you're the
I'm
opposite.
The real, like Larry David. I'll be out somewhere and I'll say some shit.
So you're the real Larry David.
I've literally had people say to me like, "You're having a fucking Larry moment right now." I'm like, hey, it is what it is. Yeah. I actually, we were out to eat before a concert, and the lady came out, the waitress came out, and she's like, oh, sorry it's taking so long, whatever, da da da. And I was like, oh, is there a disturbance in the kitchen?
Disturbance in the kitchen. Yo, I love the one where he brings his own eggs in.
Yeah, and he's late for breakfast, like he's past 11 o'clock or whatever.
He's like, 11. Those my eggs. He's like inspecting them, and he's like, these are two different colors. Like, oh my god, bro, this shit never gets old to me.
No,
like,
it never does. There's so much.
Like you said, even if there's seasons that I've seen, like, okay, I've seen this one way more. Like season 3, I think I've seen like way less than 4, so I'm gonna probably go back and watch that again.
Season 3 is great. Season 3 is great. So anything else that you guys want to talk about? I mean, we got about 15 minutes left, so
yeah, 15 minutes, whatever. It's up to you guys, man.
We can keep talking about Curb. I don't care.
Whatever, bro. I mean,
I'm excited to watch you guys' Dexter coverage.
Yeah,
I've been waiting now.
I've never heard. I know. I mean, do you guys have people that watch? Do you know people who like Dexter? I only know a couple. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna say this: the first time I watched Dexter is not how I feel about when I rewatched it.
Do you like it more or less?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not
gonna say. Wow, I've rewatched it a few times.
I'll tell you.
So
what you'll have to.
You know what's crazy about Dexter? I don't think I liked it initially. Okay, so I think I started watching in season 3 or 4. I think it was 3. I don't know. Then I went back and watched episode 1, and then I think episode 1 was a little slower and weird, and I was like, I don't know. But then it was my girlfriend at the time. She's the one who got me into it, and she was like, "Just let's keep watching it. You'll like it." And then I did. Yeah, it went on. But a lot of people say that about Breaking Bad. They think it starts slow. I don't know about that.
Whoa, the first
I hear that all the time. You gotta get through
Breaking
the first season and then you'll like it. But
no,
I don't know. I thought the first season was great.
Is amazing.
The first episode starts out with the RV.
Boom, that's what I'm saying. So, and I've heard that multiple times about Breaking Bad. Every time I get someone into Breaking Bad, they're like, "Does this pick up at all?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
No, there's definitely shows that I would agree with that sentiment, but that's not one of them.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I've watched Breaking Bad all the way.
Literally the first scene.
That's what I'm saying. It starts right out. It's like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
And of course,
I had multiple people tell me that. This is kind of
the metamorphosis of where it goes.
Right.
Like you have
they kill someone in the first season.
Right. Even Piper Boy just started watching, and I saw him on Twitter, and he was like, "This is like boring. Does this pick up at all?"
Oh,
and I'm like, bro. And when I heard him say that, I heard multiple people tell me
same shit.
ARP said that too. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are fake DVDs. Remember when I was making fun of ARP? He's like, "Yo, y'all don't know nothing about what you know about this classic," and it's Boys in the Hood.
I
like,
know.
Oh, God.
Come on,
you know,
bro.
I saw Boys in the Hood in the theater.
Yeah,
I did. I literally in 87 or whenever it came out. I don't remember.
Yeah,
when it came
87.
out. 87. I was 10 years old, and I went and saw
crazy.
Boys in the Hood in the theater in Detroit, and I thought it was a good movie, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
You don't say like he literally does. He'll pull out movies like, "What y'all know about this?" And it's Lost
Menace
Boys.
to Society, right?
Yeah, literally. y'all know
Side,
about New
bro,
Jack City.
everyone-
It's
New
like,
Jack
what?
City.
Everyone knows about that. What are you
Right.
talking about? Like
Like,
this hidden
bruh.
gem right here.
Well, if you guys didn't know, my family, we ran a video store for 12 years. So I grew up in the video store. You know,
Oh yeah,
like
I think you said that in the
yeah.
interview.
So all the like I was like movies was like an obsession. I was like I probably started working there when I was like 8, up until I was like 18. All
That's
right, and it
great.
wasn't until we
That's
got rid of the
dope.
video stores where I started working in the restaurants. So yeah, from like 8 to 18, it was just movies. Like, and then you know, it's all I was into.
Damn,
So
I'd be like,
there was a one point when I was at work, because I'd work a lot when I was like in high school. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch every movie. I had that in my head. I'm gonna start at A, because I would have to alphabeticalize all the movies at the store. I'm gonna start at A and just watch everything, you know, that we had. And I watched like the first like 4 movies that started with A, and then I can't believe this.
you never watch every movie, even like in the 80s. It's already too much.
It's too many. It's crazy.
Yeah, we were talking about that recently. That the feeling of like being in the video store, like walking around, looking at the boxes and stuff, and like spend 40 minutes, and then you leave with the same movie you saw 4 times already,
exactly.
because you knew, like, you felt more comfortable leaving there with this one. Like, I know I like this movie, so
yeah.
like, even though at some points it's like, why not just buy it if you're gonna rent it 7 times? Why not just fucking
Might
buy
as well
it?
just buy it. Yeah.
You know why? Because your parents would have to drive you further to go buy it.
Right.
You know, than they do to rent it. You know, because back then you couldn't really buy the movies unless you owed so much money that they're like, okay, just give us this amount and you keep it, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, you know, like back then the VHS copies when they first get released,
$90.
Yeah, they were anywhere between 60 and 90 to the wholesaler. To to us, it wasn't like $20 like you could, like it is now. It was 90 because they knew you were renting it. So that's how they got their money. You had to pay 60 to 90 or whatever it was, and then we would rent it for $3, you know, a pop.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
And then there were bootlegs too. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Like, so what people would do is they would copy those movies and then sell it illegally to like us or whoever, you know, for like, you know, $10, $20, you know, and then they started cracking down on those. But there was a lot of bootlegs going on back then too.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
oh,
so like we would buy, like, say my dad got into it for a minute, but a lot of people started getting busted. My uncle actually got busted for bootlegging videos, and I think he almost did. I think he might have even done jail time over it. I don't know, but you would buy like 3 legit and then like 10 bootlegs, and they caught on to that.
Pyro just said his dad was bootlegging hella movies.
Yeah,
$3-4 VHS.
That shit was wild back then. Wow, but you know, he saved a lot of money doing that.
Right.
And then when Blockbuster came out, they were going to try to run us out of business because they opened up down the street, but they were expensive. Like we would charge like $250 a rental, and they were at $3 something. So people just come to us like, what's the difference? You know?
Didn't you need like a gym? You needed like a membership to.
Yeah, you needed a membership. Yeah.
A that you paid annually or something, monthly?
Yeah, or monthly or something like that.
I don't know. I never went to Blockbuster because I didn't need to.
I think you just paid like an initial fee, and then you just used
maybe. I do remember there was like a subscription type of thing, and they gave you a card or something. Or
dude, when we would to get a membership at our place, we would. This is so crazy thinking back at it. I don't know. I'm young. You would have to give us your social security number.
That's crazy.
Because people were like, you take like the movie says $60. What other way are we gonna verify you bringing it back? Anyone can just take it and never come back. There's no internet back then to trace people down or to have anything. So my dad would like, and then I remember Oprah had a show where she's like, don't give your social security out to nobody, right? And then she made a big deal about it. And then after that show, every time I try to ask somebody, they'd be like, I'm not giving it to you. And
Oprah said not to. I remember
literally that was the reason why Oprah said not to.
That's crazy. I remember like the video store in my town when we used to go there, and like I remember being like sitting there with whatever I was like renting or whatever, and then like my mom or dad or whoever would be like up at the front. I remember they like give their license. I think every time.
Yeah,
they had
need your license.
because we lived there, but they had our number, our address, all this shit. Because like, you're not taking off with these movies. It's
yeah,
like,
because how else are you supposed to, think about it? It was crazy back then. Like you could literally just rent it, never come back, and then what? $60 gone.
So
true. It was more like an honor system, kind of like
it really was. Yeah.
it was.
People had more integrity back then. I feel like,
yeah, and it worked. I mean, we did made a business out of it, but
that's what I'm saying. More people, more often than not, they came back. Maybe it just wasn't around all the way.
Oh yeah, be kind, please rewind. That was annoying when y'all didn't rewind your shit because I had to rewind them. Put put in the thing.
You had to go through rewind.
Rewind it every time, and they would. My dad would tell me to charge people, but I never did.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a charge for doing it.
But then they would get mad. You charged me for that, and I'm like, all right.
So I was thinking the other like a couple months ago, like I would love to be able to go to like a video store every weekend and go rent a movie, right? Like I missed that. So I went to the library and
are they still around?
There's a couple. I know there's
there's one Blockbuster left.
Yeah.
What do they rent? DVDs?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, seriously, what are they renting?
I don't know where it is, but anyway, so I went to the library in my town that I live in, and I had never been there, and I go in and I see like a bunch of movies and stuff, and it's like new movies, like movies that just came out on DVD. And I'm like, what the hell? There's so many movies. I'm like, and even though I can watch them here on my TV, I still, I'm like, man, I should come here every Friday or Saturday night and just pick out a movie, and because it's free. You just
do you have a DVD player?
Yeah. I bought a Blu-ray player because I wanted to watch Idle Hands and Detroit Rock City, and they weren't like on any streaming platforms at the time that I was looking for them. So I had to go to Bull Moose and buy them. The store that
really?
sells
I watched Idle Hands recently. It was on something.
No, I'm talking about this was like
back in the day.
This was a few
but
years ago.
I know old PlayStations you could put a DVD in and watch, like PlayStation 2. Do those not work anymore?
Yeah, you can do that.
No. So
I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up, because what happened was my Xbox One, what it started doing is I would watch movies on that. And what happened is it started not playing the movie, and then that's why I bought a fucking Blu-ray player, because my Xbox wasn't playing the movies, and then I was playing it in the Blu-ray player and it wouldn't play. So my Xbox was erasing the movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My PS4 plays them. So.
That's
crazy that I just remember that right as I was talking about it. But
that's why I asked, because something similar was happening. I think maybe it was an Xbox. The last time I tried to watch a DVD, I put it in.
You have a PS4 or something?
My brother has a PS4. But
yeah, it works on mine. I could still do that.
I put it in, it didn't work. I think it was the Xbox. I tried.
Maybe Xbox is weird like that. They did something.
It was my Xbox.
PlayStation like the 4 is work pretty good.
Right. So maybe
I gotta get a PS5.
My 5 doesn't have a disc, I don't think. It's just a regular. But I haven't bought a disc in years.
Right. I guess you don't really need it these days.
I only play one game, so
you don't.
Yeah, you just download it and then boom.
Yeah, then you just have it on there.
You just own it forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Consoles are region locked, I believe. What does that mean? Region.
I don't know. I don't
even know what that means.
I think maybe like for the movie, depending on like what, but it was erasing the whole movie because I tried to play it on something else.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
You ever remember those like CD cleaners
Yep. Oh yeah, of course.
And
yeah.
all they did was just leave these weird fucking marks all
Yeah,
over.
they didn't clean shit, man.
Fuck your shit up.
CD buffer.
Best it worse. I think I used it once or twice. This is not a thing.
Yeah, literally, it'd be like a tiny little scratch, and it'd be like maybe one part of one song it would skip every time, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'll fix it," and you put it in this big fucking stupid thing with this buffer, and then you like put some liquid on it, and it go ding 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 ding, and then as soon as you see it, it's like it's leaving this fucking diagonal.
I think I made it worse. To be honest.
You cross it, and then eventually you're like, "Fucking now it don't even either it doesn't work or all these other tracks start skipping, and it looks like
shit was a scam, man. The cleaners.
The fucking CD clean. I just remember that. I'm like, bro, I wanted to throw that thing at the fucking wall after I used it like twice.
They used to have like something like that for they had VHS cleaners, like for the actual the system,
the film. Yeah,
it would be a cassette you put in. I guess it put some liquid in there. I don't know.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, you like
and then
shit in it and then put it in. Oh my god.
Yo, and then remember you'd buy like a used game or a used DVD or something, and they're like, "Oh, do you want me to run it through the machine?" It's like, "Nope, I'm good. I'll I'll clean the fingerprints off when I get home." Yeah, nah. Keep that shit off.
Yeah, I'll use my t-shirt, bro. Like I'm good.
Yeah. Facts. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
no, this was a dope episode, though.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I was fun, like I said, because I was still getting over the flu and shit, and I was like, "Oh, this early." I was like, "I hope I get through it." But yeah, felt like the time flew right by. We were flowing and rolling.
Yeah, it did fly by. This was a great episode. DME, we appreciate you, man. For coming up here, man.
I appreciate you guys, man. It was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, absolutely, man. Tune in next week for episode 36. We're gonna do one more Halloween episode to end off the month, and then we're back to regularly scheduled programming.
Maybe a extra episode, you don't know. But yeah,
let me know for sure when you guys do that. I got
definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a
definitely salute DME for coming up. There's a fire.
Anything
I was a little worried. I was like, I didn't have anything like planned because, like I said,
we're not supposed to.
I didn't have any
time to do any segments or anything. But I was like, I guess we don't need it. I was like, we'll just do what we do.
Oh, that's the best.
I had nothing planned. Yeah.
Bye.
But I appreciate y'all. Salute to y'all.
Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
You too, guys. Take care, man.
Peace.
Salute everyone in the chat. Everyone, even if they popped up, we got our first super chat too. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was dope. Shout out to Lush One.
Ooh,
shout out to everybody in the building. Interesting. So that was a great. It was like each topic that we discussed. It was like there was a great transition into the next. And we were able.
Because, I was downstairs. I told you, I'll be right back in the chat. I was going to make some coffee, and while I was down there, I was like, "Yo, I kind of want to ask him about Sopranos. Like, is it really that?" And then, but I didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
He brought it up and was like, "Oh, Sopranos," or I forget why he even brought it, but I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." I was literally just gonna bring that up, and he brought it up, so it was like made it more natural to like, unscripted, bro. That's why we do it that way. It's just.
That is why we do it that way.
Instead of we're gonna talk about this, then that. It's like, it gets too boring. I like zone out. I'm like, oh, okay, what's next? This topic, like, makes
it's gotta be
just like Curb. That's why we were talking about it because it's more conversational, more natural.
Yeah, and
these,
the thing was,
Dave Steez, bro. Isn't that the kid you battled?
Oh shit, Dave Steez. Salute, brother. Salute. Quit jocking my steez.
Quit jocking my steez.
Salute to Dave Steez, yo. So salute to Dave Steez. But yeah, man. So DME Detroit episode 35. That was a fire episode, man. We covered a lot of stuff. Now I do like the comparison with the Curb and Unscripted Logic because very much so. Like with Curb, there's an outline. Of course, there's like a there's a beginning, middle, and end. There's an outline of
Yeah,
like,
it's an
okay,
idea
this
of,
is
like,
gonna,
what we're gonna
but
do, kind of.
but all of it is unscripted. Like when I bring up a topic, I want Pablo's genuine reaction, so I don't tell him shit beforehand. But when we do stuff like movie recommendations or something like that, of course we're gonna talk to each other first to make sure we don't recommend the same movies, you know.
Right.
So that's the
We
type of
didn't
shit.
actually do any on this episode, but that's fine.
Nah, we didn't, but we can.
I mean, I feel like we talked about enough shows and stuff. I mean, we
we definitely did.
end it with it.
Watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's our recommendation for this.
That's our recommendation. Watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and you know what? Watch Sopranos and watch a Sharon.
You know what? I'm gonna rewatch it because maybe it was just the timing of it and stuff. And
yeah, it's a good show. Like I enjoyed it when I
didn't
watched
hate
it,
when
but
I
I
watched it.
just
think
felt like
the middle and the endings threw me like all the way off, and I was just like, fuck this show. Like,
yeah, I just felt like the hype for it was too much. But then again, I saw it 10 years after it
right
was done, you know. So
did
but
you watch
it is
Train to Busan or no?
no, I did not rewatch that,
Yeah.
but I will before the show. But I did watch Mr. Crockett and Late Night with the Devil, both on Hulu. You should watch both of them. And
Davy Crockett and the what? Davy Crockett and the Chingamas Sprocket. What is it?
Yo, listen, Mr. Crockett, and you have to watch it.
That's
and
one
then,
movie, Mr. Crockett.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil. Okay.
So they're both on Hulu, right? So I watched both of these movies, and now I also recently watched Salem's Lot. And
that before.
Yeah, the new one, yeah. So there's a lot of, well, we'll get into it on Monday. But yeah, there's definitely some things that I want to talk about as far as those movies
I'll
go.
watch it.
So definitely watch Mr. Crockett and definitely watch Late Night with the Devil. And there was, what other movie did I watch recently? I just watched something else.
Late Night with my Davy Crockett's.
What was the other movie I just freaking watched? I don't know. I'll have it ready for next week. But yeah, I watched what was it? The Final Girls. I watched but I had already seen, once I started watching, I realized I had already seen that. Yeah, that is a good one. Babe, what did we watch last night? I watched something. No, that shit sucked. The night before, I watched something good though.
All right, we can end it if we're just.
I'll have to look into my history.
What did I watch?
But we're gonna have a lot of great shit to talk about next episode. So next week, back to regularly scheduled programming on Monday, 6 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. So rock with us or don't. Either way, we're gonna be rocking over here. So shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to DME Detroit
and everyone on the watch back later. If this was too early for you, that's fine.
Yeah, it was a little early, but I got the day off of work, so that works for me. On that note, we out this bitch. I'm pulling out.
Please protect the ladies.
We can if you go home.
I'm already home.
Me too. We out this bitch.
Peace.
Peace.